Oh, man, we are off to a rip-roaring start in the year 2025. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Happy Wednesday to you. It's great to be here. Nowhere to go but up, I think, for the Ben and Woods program and the San Diego Padres. And the city of L.A. right now, man, is I feel so terrible for what's happening right now. We're going to get into that in a moment. Let me introduce the show quickly. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Very special guest joining the Ben and Woods program this morning, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. How are you?
We're great.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling fine. Thank you.
You sound
for asking.
You sound good.
I have a bit of a voice issue this morning.
Is it?
I think.
I feel.
He feels
healthy.
great.
I feel healthy. I don't know what happened to my voice. I wasn't screaming.
The spirit is willing.
Yeah, the body, the voice is a bit weak.
The
this
voice
morning.
is a bit weak. All right, well,
How do I sound?
You sound great.
Thank you.
I mean, luxurious, velvety, smooth, and soft, and
This is the moneymaker here.
this is
Yeah.
yes. This is
Yeah.
That's not bad. Okay.
If I lower the octave,
There you go.
I can actually project a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you? Stupid. It very much sounds like RFK, Boomer
Not
Esiason.
ideal this morning. It is not ideal.
Oh my God.
We may have Sammy coming in to back me up. At
Sammy,
some
I think she's going to come in anyway. I'm glad that you've erased this as just a bit. It's not a bit,
it's
man.
unfortunately not a bit.
I can attest to that. You got sent home last night from Channel 10, right?
I did.
They sent you home.
Well, it's just. I mean, what can you do?
Sign language.
I did all the writing and editing. It's fine. But
Okay.
I cannot project my voice.
Somebody says you got to have Ben attempt "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong. Louis or Lewis?
Louis.
Yeah.
Louis. Oh, what a wonderful world.
All right. So, what have you done to alleviate the strain on your voice? A tea?
Hot tea.
Have you gargled?
I have various Ricolas and lozenges.
Okay. Now, have you gargled?
I have not gargled.
Why?
I don't gargle. I don't like gargling.
What do you mean you don't like gargling?
I don't know. You're supposed to gargle with
Salt
salt water. It's
water.
gross.
Yeah, I mean, but it
How can something
works.
that's gross help you like that?
But it
That's
works.
It's going to make things worse. I think.
It's not. It's better. You have to gargle,
I don't like gargling.
but you need to be gargling, like on the regular. You need to
On
be
the regular.
On the regular. You should have before you got here this morning. You should have gargled at least twice before you left house, and probably 10 times yesterday when you got sent home. Is that him gargling? It sounds like him.
It sounds like
doesn't
him.
it?
Do it
It's
again.
actually-
Let's hear it.
Here we go.
Yeah. Dub says, "Stay quiet for 24 hours. It should get better."
It's hard to do in this job.
Hard to do in both of his jobs. I don't know, but you feel fine.
I feel fine. Yeah.
Good morning, Woods. Good morning, Paul.
That's another option. We have the Stephen Hawking option. If things go south, you can just type your feelings into a computer-aided voice box. Ben, what did you think of the golf last night?
I loved it.
Oh, okay. I got mocked from my wife for watching it. She thought it was embarrassing and ridiculous, and that is someone that watches every junk reality TV show.
It was the greatest thing I have ever seen.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I liked it too. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Okay. Anybody you're looking forward to seeing out in Arizona next week?
No.
Really? I thought there might be one person out there that you might be looking forward to seeing. Somebody that you may have met there in the past.
Just Delisle.
Okay, Delisle. I could do 4 hours of peppering fake Ben with questions. Delisle, by the way. Delisle. Holy cow.
You know how to spell it, Paul. You're sure?
Delisle is amazing. do it.
Her name is Delilah.
There you go.
There we go.
It would not get old. I would do it for 4 hours. I really would. It's just incredible. So somebody said that salt will dry everything out.
Shut up.
Okay.
Woods.
All right. Sorry. Salt will dry everything out. Do you want it dry or do you want it
Very
moist?
dry. No, it's dry. It's too dry.
Somebody said antacid could also help laryngitis, like a Tums. I got those for you. Do you like Tums?
I don't.
You don't like Tums?
You like Tums?
Not really.
What do you do if you get heartburn?
How would that help?
I don't know. Let's try. Here. It's a
Chew it?
It's
What do I
wintergreen.
do?
Yes, you chew it. No, you stick
No,
it
you inject it.
rectally is what you do with it. That's where you put it. All right. Yeah, delicious.
Ouch.
I have no idea how this is going to help.
You sound better already.
Chalky.
Drink a lot. Do you have any water on you? Not one bit. He has no water.
I just have tea. It's 90% water.
Do you care?
100%
Do
water.
you care about feeling better?
I
is
don't
what I'm
feel bad.
You're not gonna believe this.
What?
I was looking up birthdays today
Yeah.
to have Ben do a birthday like
Shout
Barbra
out.
Streisand.
Yeah.
How about happy birthday, Stephen Hawking?
There's no.
Heavenly birthday, but yes.
There's no.
I swear to God.
way. There is no way.
David Bowie, Elvis
Ooh.
Presley.
Oh wow, big day for birthdays.
it is.
That's quite a trifecta there. C20 Moreno says, "Go home, dude." Why don't you shut your mouth, C20 Moreno? All right. Jeez. Carlos weighs into the chat. Even your owners are Dodger fans. Yeah, this has been a fun week. Like I said, it's really been a fun week. Jeter says, "Send this man home." It's not happening. Sorry. We need Benny here.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here. I'm committed.
Well, listen, man. We all have seen what's going on right now in Los Angeles, Pacific Palisades, and I really don't know what to do.
So sad.
Ben, it's not the time for your robot takes. I don't know what to do. I want to be able to help. We have a pretty big platform here on 97.3 The Fan. If there's anything we can do, Paulie, your wife recommended that everyone download the Watch Duty app. I'm assuming that's D-U-T-Y.
I think so.
And not
Yes.
D-O-O-D-Y, because that would be a weird app to have on your phone. Watch Duty. This is Watch Duty.
Watch Duty app.
Okay. And what does that do?
Real-time updates and alerts, maps that are ever-changing with evacuations and where the fire is tracking and anything like that. It's got flight information, flight
Okay.
trackers, but the most important part is you can like zoom in, you can see where there are currently fires, you can see the evacuation zones, you can set up the alerts and notifications, because man, I know most of our audience probably here in San Diego, probably okay, but for anybody listening up in Los Angeles or anything like that, like anytime this situation happens, man, it's like they say if you can smell smoke, it might be too late. Like you got to get out immediately.
My grandmother, my Omi, who lives in the evacuation zone in the house that she's been in for like 70 years, is right there.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you could see the flames from her living room window, and they had to get her out. And it's so sad what's going on up there. The high school where my mom went to, Pali High, burning down. It's
unbelievable,
awful. Yeah.
man. Unbelievable. They are actually looking for firefighters right now to come up and help. I've got a buddy. I've texted him this morning. Let me see if I got a word back. Nothing yet.
Like anybody with any firefighting experience.
Yeah, he's a fire chief. He's a fire chief. Where? Close to the border. And I wonder, I texted him this morning, we can try to get him on and talk to us. If you're a firefighter in San Diego and you listen to this program, you can call us right now, 833-288-0973.
I play basketball with one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Get them on the horn. I got to imagine they're going to be the trip up. I have to. It's one of the things that, like, I've always admired. And here we are in here complaining about anything, and these guys are out there running into homes and saving kids and animals and belongings and putting out fires. It's just very it's inspirational to think that people will just go do that to help complete strangers and put out fires, and so I really appreciate all the effort there, and I know San Diego is going to help. I know we give our friends and our brethren in LA a lot of grief, and they return the favor, but you don't want to see this for anybody. This is horrible. And the other thing is, it could happen to anybody here. You know, this is wildfire season and has many times. Yeah. So
you weren't here yet the last time we had the really bad ones, right? That was 2007.
No, I was not here.
Yeah.
I got here in 10.
We got evacuated. Even Carmel Valley, where I lived at the time.
Yeah.
It was one of the gnarliest weeks in San Diego history.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. And so, look, if there's anything we can do, please let us know. If there's a way that we can help, if we can get bottled water or money or whatever we need to do to get out to our friends up in L.A., we are happy to do that. I mean, absolutely. Some things are, just bigger than a dumb, online talking battle. That their part of their city is burning down, and
I was literally just driving through these areas on Saturday.
Yeah,
just driving around the hills, looking around, and soaking in all the sights. I mean, I was just there. It's
nuts,
crazy
man.
What's going on?
So yeah, if anybody has any idea, please let us know. We're happy to use this platform for as much good as we can today.
Obviously, had some more Padres developments last night. We'll get to all of that and more. Get you ready for the show coming up after Traffic with Kelly.
I would like you to read that letter in its entirety
from Matt Seidler.
Matt Seidler, if you could.
I will. I'll do my best.
Should be good.
Coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
We will talk about Trust and Will.
Oh, that's right, Woodsy. Whatever is going on in the world, you need to be prepared.
Yes.
You never know when tragedy, unexpected death can strike, even to yourself. And if you are not prepared, your loved ones could suffer the consequences in terms of probate, long court waits, extra fees to handle your estate after you're gone.
I am suffering the consequences listening to you talk about it right now. Also, 60% of families do experience conflict when dividing assets after someone dies without a clear will or trust. Get your ducks in a row. Look, I was actually kind of embarrassed to be 49 years old without a will and testament. I've got I've got 2 kids, man. I got 2 kids and a wife, and I'm so happy that I crossed this off the list. It just gave me this peace of mind that I can't even explain. So if you haven't done it yet, guys, the reason I didn't do it because I was like, this is going to take me a month to do. This took me 15, 20 minutes over the break. They're shipping me my documents right now.
You don't have to go to a lawyer's office or anything.
No, not at all. So all you guys got to do is to secure your assets, protect your loved ones with Trust and Will. Get 10% off plus free shipping of your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com. Use the code San Diego, one word, at checkout. Once again, trustandwill.com. Use the code San Diego at checkout.
Hamul Casino. Fun above all else.
Got a question for you.
Sure.
Have you ever had a word that you were embarrassed that you didn't know you were pronouncing incorrectly
I'm sure there's
for a long time in your life?
nothing jumps to mind. My wife and I do it. We catch each other all the time on saying something. She said something the other day, and I go, "Oh no. That's not
right.
it." We do it to each other. I can't remember off the top of my. If she's listening, she'll text me.
I thought it was called a biopic.
Oh,
a movie
instead
about
of a biopic.
A biopic. I thought it was a biopic. And someone corrected me, maybe in my 40s.
In your 40s?
Yeah, that's not how it's pronounced.
But
It's-
you, Paulie, was there a word?
Yeah, same thing. Probably. I just can't think
Yeah.
of any.
Nothing's jumping to mind.
I think everybody has it. No one pronounces every word correctly.
There was a funny story. The first host I ever worked with a guy who this always got me, dude. Was reading a story and was talking about a misogynist.
A misogynist.
Misogynist, yes, not a misogynist, a misogynist, and I
can see it.
I can see it too. I mean, the way if you were going to read it the way it's spelled, misogynist.
So I was with my son. I'm not trying to shame him here yesterday. I mean, he's 21, but here's my voice, and he says, "You should take a losange." I go,
A losange.
"A what?" He said, "A losange." I said, "You mean a lozenge?"
A lozenge.
He goes, "That's how it's pronounced." I go,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's not French.
It's not French.
It's not a losange."
A losange. Well, listen, I'm going to side with Jack here. It absolutely should be from now on.
A losange.
A losange.
Sounds
It sounds
fancier.
way better,
way
and
fancier.
way cooler.
Yeah.
A losange.
Losange.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. A losange. Holy smokes. Wow. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dr. Kolkos says centrifugal. I pronounced it centrifugal.
Centrifugal.
Yeah.
Centrifugal is a good one. I've seen that too. But what was the one my wife got the other day? She's not texting me back. She's probably busy with the kids. Taylor woke up 3 times last night. 3, 1, 2, 3. And is really having a hard time sleeping through the night. It's super fun at 2 in the morning when she's up, like yelling at him to go back to bed. It is. It's that time of life. It's been a real rough start to the year, certainly so far. And you don't sound great. I feel I feel guilty for having you here.
Don't. I'm happy to be here.
If you need to go, go.
I don't need to go.
I would like to see you gargle at some point. It would make me feel better. I think it will really work.
All right, we can try some gargling later.
All right, I'll get you some hot water. Are you sipping on hot tea?
I'm
Doing
sipping
anything?
on hot tea. I just had a lasage.
It kind of makes me want to have a lasage too.
Yeah.
What
What kind of lasages do we have?
Do you think it's like laryngitis or something?
Yeah, someone in the chat
Like
said,
physically, you feel
I feel fine. Someone said there's a virus going around that just is like a vocal cord virus, and it swells your vocal cords. So
keep it.
Maybe that's
low.
what I have.
Keep it low.
I keep it
low and smooth.
Yeah, if I stay fairly calm.
What if we should try to rile them up?
Don't rile me up. As
Hey,
long
Ben,
as
it's your fault as a San Diego voter that the Chargers left.
I saw this truck last night when I was
Here he
driving
goes.
home.
Here he goes.
Completely decked out.
Yeah.
And I fought the urge to run it off the road, but it was all Los Angeles Chargers, powder blue, Los Angeles Chargers logos all over the place. I go, that is aggressive down here. That is really aggressive. But I think it was heading back toward Los Angeles. But apparently last night, Chargers tweeted out from their account at Moonshine Flats downtown. They had a Chargers playoff rally with a hearty group, looked like 40 people.
No, man, Ricardo says it was filled to capacity. They were turning people away.
I don't think it was. I mean, the video I saw, it looked like 40 enthusiastic people.
This is, you're disseminating fake news in here.
F you Dean Spanos.
Ben, whoa.
So
Capacity, he says.
I saw the truck. I think it was returning to Los Angeles.
Yeah. That was like was that like a team truck, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, it looked very official. I mean, it
Yeah.
it was copyright infringement if it was.
Because, I mean, I have teams that I like. You know what I mean? I have teams that I like, but I don't know that I would wrap my car or truck in the gear or the colors of the team. Like, I'm a big Notre Dame fan. Huge game tomorrow. I don't have shamrocks and stuff like that. I have a sticker or something on my car. That's fine.
It's aggressive to be driving that around San Diego. Aggressive.
I think you're the only one still holding a grudge, really. You're the only one I know that gets so upset about
If in your neighborhood there was a giant Dodgers wrapped pickup
I see it all the time. All the
not
time.
an entirely wrapped car.
Maybe not a wrapped car, but you got to remember too. Little kids are as fair weather as it gets. I have a cousin that no matter who won the national championship in football, this dude was shoving a Miami hat. Next year would be Alabama, Florida State. And every Christmas, I'd be like, really? So Miami, now Florida State. Like, little kids are fair weather fans. I go to pick up Bo at school. Bro, I didn't see a Dodger hat all of last year. All I see, Shohei shirts, Dodger lids. People are fair weathers. Look, the Chargers are in the playoffs. It's gonna get more people to go, you know what, I really like Justin Herbert, or I really like so-and-so. I'm going to watch and root for them a little bit. I feel like I'm okay since they're good to come out of the woodwork. I
don't dislike Justin Herbert. I really don't.
I like him a lot. I like watching that guy play football.
I'm not a big Jim Harbaugh fan, but
I never have
he's
been,
a good coach.
but he's a good coach.
He's a good coach,
Yeah.
and they had a good season.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they have a good chance at winning this game on
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
I do
against
too.
Houston.
I do too. And you've seen a lot of tweets come out about, hey, this isn't this team. Not that any team's incapable of blowing a game, but you do get this.
We've seen it happen to that team.
To that team in particular, Chargered is a real thing. And I saw a couple people tweeting about how they haven't chargered very much since Jim Harbaugh got there. And I think, hey man, if you can take the chargering out of the Chargers, you got a pretty good shot.
He hasn't coached one playoff game yet.
That's true.
For them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where they charge her.
And that always was true. They always had themselves in the position, and then, they blew it somehow. So, but that's why, what happened with the Chargers is why it was such a hot button point in the lawsuit that was filed this week, when it was suggested that the Padres could be thinking about relocating from Petco Park, which is why, I think Matt Seidler sent that letter yesterday with such forceful language, refuting the idea that the Padres could be going anywhere. So we can get into that coming up here with the letter that Matt Seidler sent to Padres partners and faithful fans. And we will get to all of that coming up. First, though, Woods is going to tell us a little bit about Underdog.
Yes, my friend, I am all the way in on tomorrow night's game, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Very, very excited to get that going. And Underdog, if you are a California sports fan, the good news is Underdog is now available to play in our state. It's the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off? Which players are ice cold? You can figure it out for yourself. Everyone's an expert, so let's put our money where our mouth is. 5 million happy players, $2 billion won. Underdog makes it super fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. I've had such a good time playing with Underdog. Every dog deserves a second chance. With Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back, receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose, which is pretty elite. They got a double flex option. You can take 2 L's, turn them into a win. Very, very cool. So I want you guys to get it, play around with it like I did. It's the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with the promo code WOODS, WOODS. Deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Use the promo code WOODS when you download the Underdog app. Must be 18 and over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Well, Benny's hopefully gargling somewhere or getting a lasage. What'd you get there? Some hot tea? Good for you. You sound great. You look great. You feel great. It's Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, I look great.
You do look
look good.
great.
I look good.
You do look good.
Yeah.
Keep it low, just like that.
That's my
Sultry.
Getting a little Barry White going.
That's a very seductive voice you have there.
It's all foreplay today.
Yeah, all foreplay for 4 hours. It was going to be if you didn't show up today. We were going to do foreplay for 4 hours. Paulie and I just shooting the breeze in here. But I figured we have to talk some sports, have to talk this letter that dropped yesterday.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. What a line. Yeah, it's getting ugly. It's ugly and getting uglier, I do think, with the Shield Seidler lawsuit and the responses from the Seidler family. It has not been pretty. I read this yesterday. And listen, my, again, main takeaway from this has been and will continue to be, if the allegations that Shield Seidler has made in her lawsuit are true, I mean, it's horrific. It's a horrific scene for both parties, and I think it's going to take a tremendous amount of hard work to build up the good faith again that's been lost in just a few days right now. And what I'm hearing out of this letter yesterday, it's tough because you look at this letter and you see and you hear these platitudes of no, we're going to continue to work hard at building a championship team. Listen, I think it's fair to say, as a Padre fan, nobody wants to hear any more talk about building a championship team. We want to see action, and I think that is what Padres fans wants the most, right? Don't talk about it, be about it. Like, why haven't we been active in free agency? Why aren't we making any trades? Why haven't we spent really any money at all in the offseason? I've seen a lot of talk about riding the momentum, this great fan base, blah, blah, blah. And so far, nothing has happened.
You don't want to make the wrong move just to make a move, though. I mean, it's important that A.J. Preller makes the right move for the team.
Well, I think there were plenty of right moves that could have been made that were not made.
Yeah, but every team, other than the Dodgers and Mets generally, is operating under some sort of constraints. There is a budget for every team, and A.J.'s got one. I don't know what it is, but you don't want to spend your budget on the wrong move. And if he doesn't feel
that's
like
the risk that you run.
The price tag that that the players have gone for is not the right move for the Padres. It doesn't make any sense to make the wrong move just because you have to make a move, now because other teams are making moves.
But isn't that
wait until you make the right move?
Isn't that every offseason? If you have somebody that you like, and again, fine. If you're not going to make any moves, stop telling me that you're going to build on the momentum. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not going to do anything, I think, look, you don't get a lot of transparency from really any ownership or really any GM. No GM is going to come in and tell you, hey, this is what I have in mind. These are the guys I'm going after. That's standard. I don't get upset about that. I think the thing that bums me out is when I'm reading this back and forth, I keep seeing the Peters Vision stuff. I keep seeing that, we're going to build on this. And again, the offseason's not over by any stretch, and this team still has moves to be made, certainly. But it does, where there's, it's such a bad metaphor right now, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, you can't tell me that some of this stuff hasn't had anything to do with the lack of moves, And I don't know, man. I have heard people talking about Peter's vision a lot, and I know Peter's vision was not to not do anything. That's one thing I do know is that was not his vision. Let's do nothing. Let's do nothing. Let's not improve this ball club.
I know the player that Peter Seidler was most excited about this offseason was Roki Sasaki.
Yes, 100%.
A.J. Preller told us during Peter's memorial that he's been talking about Roki for years. And this was always the biggest plan. This offseason was to target Roki Sasaki. From everything we've heard, the Padres have put everything into that pursuit this offseason. They're not going to get an answer on that for another week. Yeah. Week plus. That's been the main pursuit this offseason. That's what Peter wanted.
I
That's
agree.
what Peter wanted. They're going for that. That's what they're going for.
And if they don't get it,
Then they have to pivot.
You got to pivot.
But, I mean, that's what they've been going for this season.
The other part in the letter that, like you mentioned earlier, it says she'll also inexplicably suggest in her complaint that relocating the team is under consideration. This is completely false. It's also laughable. The fans in San Diego are the best. To clarify, without ambiguity, relocating the Padres from San Diego has never been discussed or contemplated.
I told you yesterday that sounded pretty silly. Like, where would they go?
Right.
Why would they leave? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And Matt Seidler addressed it with some of the similar, logic that I brought yesterday. Like, why would we leave a ballpark that is full, a facility that is rated number 1 in baseball? Doesn't make sense for the Padres to even be talking about going anywhere else. There's no other markets that are better than San Diego that are clamoring for teams. That never made a lot of sense to me when I saw that line in the lawsuit.
Yeah, and you said that yesterday. I mean, look, I'm not trying to do like the debate other side here, but it wouldn't be the first time an owner of any team, and I'm not referring to these guys specifically, but wouldn't be the first time an owner is like, why would we leave here? This place is great. And then 6 years later, they're gone. You don't know what's going to happen. And I kind of liked, I don't know what needs to happen moving forward. I know this is going to take a while to get some resolution, right? And I think in the meantime, I will say, there's a part of me that thinks with this letter yesterday and with everything that's come out, I do feel like the control person now and the Seidler brothers, I do feel like they have, I don't want to say back themselves in a corner a little bit, but they are putting out all these words that now need action. They've said a bunch of stuff on record, in letters, posted. Now you have to have action, and if you don't have action by opening day or whatever it is, you're going to lose any favor that you may have immediately.
When does that end? If you go out and sign, I don't know, let's say you go and sign Jack Flaherty.
Right.
Are you good for the next year? What's enough to say you're pursuing a championship?
$1. How about $1? Start there.
That's not going to satisfy you.
I know,
fans.
but you know what I'm saying.
You can't put a dollar amount on what pursuing a championship looks like.
I can put a dollar amount on what pursuing a championship doesn't look like.
Tell me on opening day if you like the team on the field or not. And if you like the team on the field, then they're pursuing a championship. And if on opening day you don't like the team, then you can complain and say, I don't think they're pursuing a championship. You can't say here on January 8th that they are or they're not pursuing a championship because the offseason is not over yet. It's still a work in progress. Yes, they've been one of the last teams to make moves, but they will make some moves, and we will evaluate those moves when they are made.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and now, that's kind of my whole point is that now you have to. You
always did. It doesn't change anything. You always had to make some moves.
Now you absolutely have to. You have to. There's no getting out of it now at this point.
It's a tough pill to swallow for fans to swallow, to cut payroll back-to-back years, especially one of those years after being in the playoffs and doing everything that they did this past season. That makes it tough. I think we all understood a little bit easier a year ago and change after the 23 season.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
Peter had passed. Nobody really knew what was going on. And yeah, you didn't like it, but like with Juan Soto in particular, you're like, all right, he's only here for another year. We really don't have a chance at re-signing him. Like, looking back, obviously that trade makes a lot more sense now.
Is there a way through this? Is there a way through this? And I don't know, man. This isn't, like you said yesterday, it's not the first time there's been ownership issues here in San Diego. It's not the first time there's been ownership issues in sports. What is the path through this? That is again, because my main concern is with the fans. I don't want to see fans let down or screwed over. So what is, and I certainly, I don't want to see Shield Seidler screwed over.
I don't want to see a civil war amongst the fan base.
I don't either. I mean, it's already,
I don't like
it's already,
fighting.
It's already started, certainly. It's certainly already started, and you just try to avoid the shrapnel as best you can. But what's the best way through this? Is there a way that everybody could come back together, mend fences, settle? You hear about settlements all the time. Let's settle. Let's settle this. Let's work together. Let's actually carry out Peter's vision. Right? Which was not to slash payroll, which was not to not compete for world championships. Let's actually get together and try to solve this.
Again, though, I mean, a month ago, we knew nothing about this. We weren't expecting the Padres to be hugely active this offseason in player acquisition.
Yeah, at the top of the market, you're right.
Yeah, but that's all that's really, I mean, yeah, there's been other signings. But again, I promise you the Padres have some moves coming up, and they're waiting on Roki Sasaki's decision, and then they will make some moves before spring training.
I don't understand, and we talked about this last week, but I don't understand the waiting. You know, that's a totally different pot of money that you can pull from, the international bonus pool money. So I don't.
It's not the pot of money. It's where you want to spend that money.
Meaning, well, again,
But the international money is totally separate from any money
it
that
is,
goes to
right.
free agents.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you get Roki Sasaki, fantastic. You know where he's going. You also know there's left field, there's catcher, there's another starting pitcher you're probably going to need, even if you get Roki Sasaki, because you got to go on a 6-day six-man rotation. I'm going to try every word until I get the 6-man rotation. You're going to have to do that, so you're going to need another arm anyway. Waiting for the market to drop, waiting for prices to drop, sure, makes sense. But waiting for guys to get a little bit desperate, yep, absolutely. You're going to have to play in that ballpark right now.
I mean, that's what we've been seeing.
That's exactly what we've been
offseason.
seeing, no question. So, but I think Roki is gravy. You know, as they say, if you don't get Roki, we're not packing up the tents and saying,
No.
well, that's it. We're not spending a dime. We're not doing a damn thing. We didn't get Roki Sasaki.
No, and they will make moves either way. I just think it informs
Right,
them.
exactly. They will make moves either way.
Right.
So why haven't they made any?
Yes,
But-
you still are going to have to make those moves.
You still need a catcher.
Right, but
exactly.
Like you said, the later it gets in the offseason,
The more
it changes the market.
It does, but there's fewer to pull from in the pool.
There's
Is what I'm
reasons
saying.
guys are still
I mean,
available.
yeah, clearly they're trying to shop smart. You know, they're not.
Oh yeah,
They're not. You know, they're not overpaying for anyone like
Yeah.
some other teams have overpaid for players this year.
I think I saw an overpay yesterday from the San Francisco Giants.
We're mad when they overpay for players. Clearly, I mean, we've been dealing with the reaction to why did you give so much to Xander Bogaerts the last couple of years? So now they're going, let's get some players. There's $1 million for Jurickson Profar. That was great last year. It's the one move everyone loved. You know, I don't.
Getting worked up. Just keep it. Remember, keep the
That's right.
keep the tenor down.
I don't know that they are going to be able to find another $1 million steal like Jurickson Profar.
You
There you
sound
go.
so
That-
much
that
better
sounds
when you do
so
that,
much
just
better.
so you know.
Sorry.
When he gets worked up,
Yeah.
when he gets worked up, why are you torturing Ben like this, Hector? Says take the day off. We told him.
But there are good moves still to be made this offseason.
Yeah.
They're not players are not gone. There are still options available. And I promise you, AJ Preller is working every single day
Oh
on
yeah,
analyzing those options and figuring out the best way
Morning,
to put
guys.
the
Morning,
best
AJ.
team on the field.
But again, yes, I have no idea. I have no doubt that he's working. But is he on a hamster wheel right now, waiting for the control person to say, okay, here's what we can do. Here's what we can spend.
I don't think so. I don't think this changes anything. I think this was always the off-season plan, was to be patient and wait. And both sides, whether it's, the Seidler brothers, Shiel Seidler, neither side is in financial straits. This isn't the John Moore situation where there's a divorce and you can't spend anything. There's no there's no handcuffs. I don't think
reading
anybody.
the Shield lawsuit seems like she was or is. I mean, if all these allegations are true, it definitely seems like
she's not running the team though.
Right,
now.
exactly. So she's not
the
responsible
people
for
who are currently running the team. They shouldn't have any restraints on them at the moment. They can do what they want. This is what they're choosing.
Yeah, but they're
Their
not.
strategy to be. It's to be patient this offseason.
Who is currently, today, this morning, right now, running the
Eric
team?
Katsenda
It's
is
still
still
Eric
the
Katsenda,
control
right?
person.
Until when?
Until Major League Baseball approves John Seidler.
And
as
that
the control person.
And that's up because of this lawsuit. Lawsuit, will it be delayed?
It could be, or
Like
Major
when
League
AC
Baseball
wrote
could
that
still,
story on, I think it was like the 21st of December. That was just saying this is the plan that's being set in
Yeah,
motion.
it's not
Hadn't
rubber
been approved
stamped.
yet. So
Correct.
it's still Eric Katsenda is still like the absolute final call right now.
I understand how everybody feels. Do we need to check traffic here?
We do.
Let's check traffic. I just want to make sure we have all of our facts correct in this discussion. We'll do that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Westbound King Freeway at the 125 vehicle wound up in the ice plant over to the right shoulder. Tow truck is rolling up to assist with that. Also traveling on northbound 15 before the 52. Watch out for a stalled car in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
JD in the chat says the Padres are going into an era of frugality, and AJ is probably likely to get axed.
That's just,
okay.
I mean, that's
The facts are the Padres are spending still at the luxury tax level. That is not frugality. There's nothing frugal about the Padres right now.
They don't have a choice. That's that's on the ledger sheet, right?
Right. But that's where they are at, and you can't.
We talked about this before. That's kind of a cop out.
No, but
say,
yes, it's not a cop out. I mean, you can't. It's just
it's factual.
flat out incorrect.
It's true, but it is factual, but it can be misleading.
Stop getting him worked
I don't
up.
like it though.
Stop getting him worked up. Just have him be smooth and chill. Just be chill.
I think it's misleading to say that the Padres are operating on some sort of shoestring budget right now when they remain spending at levels that were 6 years ago unthought of in Padres history.
Absolutely. They have moved themselves into the, I would say now, where do you, all right, here's an honest question. Where do you think when the first pitch is thrown, where will the Padres be in payroll?
About middle of the pack.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. 15.
Yeah. About the 27th market size with no TV deal in baseball,
Right.
or whatever they are. You know, they're spending above their means this year.
They have been spending above their
And
means.
they're still spending above their means this year.
Because they're locked into guaranteed contracts.
Right.
So that's,
And
again,
if you want to complain that they overspent
yeah, we've done that ad nauseum.
and are now
paying
you know,
the piper.
paying the piper, that's very accurate, possibly.
I understand. I think.
But again,
maybe it's not even a casual thing though. Like the fan base, when they hear payroll going up, they want it to be because of players being added.
Well, obviously.
Not
Correct.
because of existing contracts
That are
were signed
that are
in the
escalating.
past few years.
Yeah.
We all know that we knew that was going to happen. And while technically that is an increase in spending, when there's no additions to
No
the
one
team,
likes it when their rent goes up.
Correct.
And they're
Yeah.
living in the
exact same place.
apartment or
Yeah.
house, but they're
Yeah.
paying more
They're
for
paying
it.
more.
But it doesn't mean that you can then, but I'm still going to go out and spend more on my car because you can't, because
Right.
your rent went
'Cause
up
your rent
and
went
you
up.
can't afford it anymore because your rent went up. You're not living a better life. You're just spending more in the life you have.
Sleeps says in the chat, "Who the fudge is this guy talking?" That's our beloved Ben Higgins, who has a little laryngitis potentially. How's that? What do you have? Tea?
Tea.
Gargle it.
It's very hot.
Good. Well, that's what you need. It feels good when you gargle. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Soothing? How's that feel?
I don't know. Fine. Good.
Smoke weed. Smoke weed, by the way.
You got an advice?
Big bomber class before busting on me head.
If you heard my story on Monday, I'm never doing that again. I said this broadcast shouldn't be this funny. Thank you, flu show Ben. He doesn't have if he had the flu, he wouldn't be here.
I would not be here. I feel fine.
He feels great.
It's
It's just this voice.
I could Peloton for an hour right now. I feel really good. I can't sound like I don't know what I sound like.
We've got a guy in the chat named Joe Garignani. I wonder if it's Jake's dad.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Say hi to Jake for us.
Jake, we love you. And Joe, if you're his dad, you did a great job. He's one of the best sports guys in this town.
One of.
What?
Yeah,
Well, okay,
one of.
one of.
There's Julian,
It's Julian,
Darnay.
Troy.
Troy,
Troy's
John
a legend.
Howard.
John Howard, a G. Ben, the sports
Steve
guru.
Smith.
Steve Smith. Yes, these are legends, man. Legends you're mentioning. Right
Do they
now.
gargle?
It's his
Is that
cousin.
because they gargle?
It's his cousin. I wonder how they sound today.
Probably better than me.
Probably better than you. Man. I hate this. I hate this for the for all of San Diego. Can we just have a normal offseason for the love of God? Maybe just once. And we thought this might be it. No.
because we know next year ain't it, or is it in 2 off seasons?
Oh,
the
yeah.
strike.
The looming work
The
stoppage.
lockout.
Yes, this is great. This is great.
We've had COVID. We've had a lockout.
Yep,
We've
COVID,
had,
lockout.
the Korea series.
Korea series. Peter Seidler's passing.
Lawsuit.
Now
Lawsuit.
lawsuit.
It's been awesome, man. We have been here. We have been here through it all, and we will continue to forge ahead for the Padres fans out there, and we are amongst you. So I know this is a lot to stomach. It's a lot to digest. I've spent my days reading through threads, legal threads, and things like that. I wish I understood all of it. I know, again, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, well, one of the things that is hurting the Padres perceptually is that the other teams in the NL West have
continue
been really active.
Yeah.
If they were sitting in the AL Central right now,
Yeah, we'd be fine.
you wouldn't be as desperate as you feel at the moment.
That's
but
evergreen, though.
Had another move yesterday in the
Yep.
NL West. We'll get into that coming up. Hour number 2 of Ben. Someone who is imitating Ben and Woods and Paul on San
It's not a
Diego's
good
number one
imitation
sports
of Ben.
station,
It's not.
97.3 The Fan. There have been a lot of moves made by NL West teams this offseason. A lot of moves. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers have been very active, and the Giants have been moderately active. And a lot of those moves are kind of scary if you're a Padres fan. Corbin Burns, the Blake Snell move, obviously, huge. Willie Adames going to the Giants. Yesterday's move, to me, was not one of the scarier ones. No. But we did get another one when the Giants have agreed to a one-year contract with Justin Verlander. Reportedly,
Lord Baseball.
$15 million. No.
$15 million. Guys, 42 years old. He is 4 years older than his general manager. Insane.
It's, and it may work out for them.
Here I am, Lord Baseball.
But at age 42, his strikeout rate has dropped below the league average.
Yeah.
He is not the pitcher that he used to be. This is a vibes leadership kind of move.
Buddy, is this even a gets asses in the seat move? If you're a Giants fan today, how are you feeling? Because I'm telling you, if it was the Padres that did this yesterday, I'd be livid. As much as I'm sitting here bitching at them to spend money.
Spend money. If it was on Justin Verlander,
I'd be livid.
And you go, that's who we can add. You wouldn't be happy about it.
I don't think I would. And that's complete transparency. I don't think I would be happy about it at all.
But it is depth. And every team in the NL West is building a large amount of pitching depth in their starting rotation. And it's the one thing the Padres are lacking. Is they've got top of the rotation strength.
Yes.
But they don't have bottom of the rotation depth right now.
They Padres did, as someone pointed out in the chat, they did counter by signing Luis Patino again. So I think he's still injured. Yeah,
yeah,
he's wait.
Tommy John, he's out for the year.
Out for the year.
Most of the year, I think. So
that's
cool. They right now, they're counting on probably Matt Waldron, or Randy Vasquez to be part of the starting rotation. If not both of them, at a serious amount of the season this year. And that's why, even if they don't get Roki Sasaki, you're right. They do need to go out and add pitching depth at some point. We went through some of the names yesterday, guys who are still available, probably going to start getting a little more desperate over the next few weeks. You could go the veteran route like a Lance Lynn. You could go the reunion route with a Cal Quantrill or a Colin Ray. All pitchers who are gonna have their ups and downs. They'll be effective a few starts. They'll get shelled a few starts. I don't think there's anyone left who's going to put together a Cy Young type season for you. But this is where they were always. They're not looking for a 1. They're looking for a 4 and a 5 at this point.
That's a good point by Alex. He says Sasaki doesn't necessarily equate to depth. He really doesn't. I mean, it's another guy at the top of your rotation. It's great. But again, with the way
even if he throws 120 innings, that's 120 innings that goes toward your total, which is good.
I felt pretty good about the rotation heading into 2024 as far as number of bodies available.
Yeah.
Especially after the trade, you get Vasquez, this Matt Waldron guy who turned out to be a horse and was great for us.
Your first half of Matt Waldron was absolutely
But we still needed more, is my point.
Yeah.
We were talking about 7 or 8 potential starters heading into last season. Still wasn't enough.
Yeah. It never is, it feels like. It never. You saw what the Dodgers were able to do winning the World Series with essentially 2 starting pitchers and an elite bullpen. That's another method that we talked about yesterday, Ben. The Padres aren't going to overpay right now for a Tanner Scott, in my opinion. It's what their strategy was at the deadline last year, though. Let's improve this bullpen. We got Jason Adam. We got Tanner Scott. And man, those guys really did their job down the stretch.
Now, guys like Waldron and Vasquez are still at the stage of their career where they should be getting better. They're getting more experience and improving. Working with Ruben Niebla, I would hope that both of those guys could take at least a modest step forward. And if they do, they should be decent back of the rotation type pitchers.
Yeah.
Johnny Brito's there as well.
When we talked to Ruben on the Christmas and holiday extravaganza a couple weeks ago, he said he was going to head to the DR and he's going to work with those guys. The Vasquez's and what was the other one you mentioned?
Waldron?
No, not Waldron.
Brito.
The Brito. Yeah, Brito and Vasquez going to work with those guys. You hear that and you think, yeah, man, this is going to be something they need to really invest in getting these guys ready because they need to be contributors this year and not just middle of the road type contributors.
So there are still names out there. We will see what the Padres do, but Clearly Roki Sasaki is the priority right now. Will the lawsuit impact it? We don't really have any idea. If that's going to be high on Roki Sasaki's radar, low on Roki Sasaki's radar. But it's clearly something that they will take into consideration. My guess. It's not as though every other ownership group is perfectly tight, and has all their ducks in a row all the time. There's a lot of drama that goes on at the highest levels of Major League Baseball. So if they're doing their due diligence and homework, and I promise you that they are, they've uncovered all the skeletons in everybody's closet already, and they're out there in Major League Baseball. This one is a little public right now, but
more public. Yeah.
But they're all out there, and the agents are, they know what's going on all around the league all the time.
And again, I have no idea if it will affect it. My initial reaction was, yep, you can kiss him goodbye. That was my initial reaction. It usually is. I don't like that I'm wired to think the worst immediately, but if there's one thing that sports have taught you, it's almost always expect the worst and hope for the best and be pleasantly surprised. That's how I feel about the football game tomorrow. I'm a wreck. I feel like the Irish are going to lose by 30.
You always feel that way.
Always. Every game.
I mean,
I felt that way against Georgia.
Are they? They're slight favorites, right?
They are 1.5 point favorites, which makes me nauseous.
It's such a weird season for Notre Dame. The loss to Northern Illinois has kind of clouded everything we've thought about the team. If you can lose to Northern Illinois, how good can you really be?
How good can you be?
It's not like Northern Illinois went on and had a great season.
Correct. I think they finished with a winning record, but
yeah, barely.
It's Northern Illinois.
There's no excuse.
And you lost at home, and they were 22-point favorites or something.
And you look at the teams that they played for the rest of their games, all wins.
Yeah.
And you go,
yeah.
None of them really were that impressive. But then they get on the playoffs, and they've looked really, really good.
Really good.
The first two games.
Well, they look great against those teams. Army was ranked when they played them. They demolished them. It's also how you won. They won with a big margin of victory, and
they weren't barely beating those lesser teams.
Yeah, which, by the way, that was the Irish MO for many years. It was we
USC
scraped by.
USC played them tough at the end of the season. Yep. But
you still won that game pretty handily. What was the final?
Well, they had the pick six at the end. They
Yep.
kind of flipped it and turned it into a 15 or so point
But
game.
I will tell you, man, with the quarterback that Penn State has, and the team that they have, the tight end that they have, as they always have at Penn State. Yeah, I'm looking at this going, man, what do these handicappers know that I don't know? It's a very, very tight game.
It's funny because both of these teams are historically the ones that they'll put up the good regular season records and then they'll flame out.
Yeah,
the bowl game.
James Franklin as a coach, 100%. Can't win the big one, right? Marcus Freeman has won a lot of big ones. He's just lost a lot of crap ones. The loss to Marshall, the loss to Northern Illinois. The big games, he's actually won. He's beaten more top 25 opponents than any Notre Dame coach ever. So
this feels like the year, though, with no massive Alabama, Georgia juggernaut.
Ohio State is
a
juggernaut.
They lost to Michigan 4 weeks ago.
I understand, man.
They lost to Michigan 4 weeks ago. They looked like a juggernaut the last 2 weeks.
Did you watch them against Oregon? Holy smokes. You look at that and you go, oh, my God, who's beating them? I have a lot of buddies that are Texas fans.
But that's not how sports works.
No, I know.
You play great one week. Generally, the next week you play not quite as well.
Especially in college football.
It's the inconsistency that gets you. Now, I think Ohio State is the team to beat. They're the best team, but I also think they're beatable. Yeah. I think they're beatable by any of the other three teams remaining.
Yeah.
Still, Texas is not. They're also very inconsistent.
Correct.
Right now, Notre Dame since the loss has been the most consistent team in college football.
Don't jinx me. You're jinxing me.
I'm not trying to jinx you.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm really not.
I haven't broached the subject at home yet of, hey, what are the chances you and the kids clear out for about 3 hours on a Thursday night? Game starts at 4:30. What are the chances you guys split until about 8? Probably not good.
I think you would need to split.
That's also not good because I'm responsible for bath time and bedtime and things like that. Just going to have to put this game on. The game goes on the back burner, right? That's what a good dad does. Just looking over his shoulder the whole time.
You could pull a Crisello.
What is Crisello?
He records every game, tries not to find out what happens, and then after everyone's, the night's over, sits down and watches it.
Which
fast forwards through all the commercials.
To me. That's
Padres
so
games.
wild.
Every game. That's how he does it. He watches like nothing live.
He doesn't work mornings though. Also, like this is the playoffs. This is the final four.
But you can watch like a 3-hour game in an hour,
In an hour,
and 45
and
minutes.
20
Yeah,
minutes.
It goes quick. It goes quick.
I can't.
No,
I've
no,
never
I
been.
can't
I've
do it. I
You have to
never.
just turn off your phone.
I've never been able to do it because part of the joy of me or watching sports is scrolling my phone in real time to see what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
And retweeting and having fun.
Yeah.
And it's actually has made sports awful and sometimes enjoyable. If your team's doing well, it's a blast. If your team's not doing well,
It's worse.
It's worse. It's excruciating. Like
You're right.
watching the baseball playoffs and being on your phone the whole time, live tweeting it, this pitch, that pitch, this play, this base running mistake, whatever. It really, really amps up how bad it can be.
So we're actually going to have our friend. It's been a while. Dennis Dodd, who covers college football, CBS Sports, is going to be on what time tomorrow, Paulie?
We don't have a time yet.
No,
So
okay,
we'll hop on
sometime
this tomorrow.
during the show
Probably
tomorrow.
7:30.
Dennis Dodd is going to join us from CBS Sports to talk NCAA college football semifinals tomorrow and Friday night.
I like it.
It's weird because the slower I talk,
The better you sound.
the better I sound.
Does your throat hurt at all?
No, not really.
So everyone's like, "Hey, Ben, go home." I'm not keeping you. I think Sammy Levitt's coming in at 8, and he's going to hang out, so he can take a little pressure off you. If you want to stay, stay.
If you want to stay, you can. If you want to leave at 8, you can.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
If
know.
you want to leave now, you can.
I don't know why I would leave.
I don't either. I think I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
It's
But,
different. It's fun.
you know, having Sammy in to eat a couple of innings is not the worst idea.
Yeah, it's true.
Just save my pitches for the big moments.
Like
Like
what?
Take on Woods.
Like take on Woods. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna need you.
someone's got to host Take on Woods
Yeah,
at 8:20
that's true.
this morning.
We will need you for that.
So I want to make sure that I still have a little left in the tank.
Yep,
when
I
we
got
get
you.
Later in the show
I got you.
today.
All right, we'll take a breather here.
All
I'm going
right.
to tell everybody about
Thank you.
Loan Pronto very quickly. If you have high interest debt that's weighing you down, you're listening right now, you can pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. If you're a homeowner, there's a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home's equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Use their AI-driven technology. Will get you approved for cash out in as little as a day. And, man, a lot of people doing this right now, saving over $1,000 a month, instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers, get cash to consolidate all your debt. Get a fresh start for 2025. Call Loan Pronto now. See how much you qualify for. This time next week, you could be credit card debt-free. Don't wait. Get your cash fast, 619-207-4336, or go to loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336, or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I've got a mysterious local player suspended for Don't Do This coming up next.
Mysterious.
Yeah, there's
local
some
player.
mystery behind the suspension. It's a athlete on one of our local teams.
All right.
And we'll get into that after check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, hit me.
Hamul Casino. Fun above all else.
All right, Don't Do This brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to change or chance if and when you die. It says change, but I think it meant chance.
I think you're right.
Do set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com. It's a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. I will get us started today with a little update on the Tyreek Hill situation. We played the audio, I believe it was on Monday, where he said, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm out,
bro.
I'm out, bro. He kind of had a little double speak in there, said whether it's here or somewhere else. Then he said, no, I'm out. I'm out the door. Well, it's not over quite yet in Miami. The team's head coach and general manager say they never actually got a formal trade request from Tyreek Hill after he told reporters he wanted out of town. Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel met with the media on Tuesday. They did sit down with Tyreek Hill, met with him for over an hour and said, look, clearly frustrated from a lackluster season. The game got the best of him at the time of his comments. Told him it was unacceptable to pull himself in the fourth quarter of a loss. And now they move forward, potentially with him staying in Miami. But again, a story to watch this offseason if you're a Dolphins fan.
We've seen it time and time again where guys are coming off a tough loss, a tough season, and they're in the locker room, and they get like 5 minutes to cool down, and all of a sudden the camera's in their face. And they just haven't
get worked up.
They haven't composed themselves yet.
I can't imagine not being able to compose myself, right? Just in all circumstances.
In an ideal world, they all just snap their fingers, and they just go into soundbite mode. Yeah, I know, we're just going to put our heads down this offseason, and we're going to work hard.
Yep.
But one of the things we value the most from athletes is candidness and honesty, which means sometimes they're going to say things they don't really mean. They're going to overreact. And that may be some of the case here with Tyreek Hill. Giving him a day or two to cool down, he goes, yes, we can be a good team again next year. Yeah. I don't need to be traded. I don't need to.
And we still have, you still have 2 years left on your deal.
Still have 2 years left on my deal.
Let's get it done.
I spoke a little rashly at the end of the season.
Correct.
It's forgivable to do that every once in a while. All right, this is a bit of a mysterious story involving our San Diego Gulls of the American Hockey League. I got an email yesterday. It said the American Hockey League's Player Safety Committee announces the San Diego Gulls defenseman Roland McCune has been suspended for 3 games as a consequence of his actions at the conclusion of a game at Coachella Valley on January 5th.
Okay.
McCune will miss San Diego's games tonight, Friday, and Saturday. I thought, 3-game suspension in hockey. This is a
big one.
This is a sport that allows you to essentially pummel people, and you just have to sit in a penalty box for 5 minutes. That's it. So what did he do that warranted a 3-game suspension? I went to social media, looked for video. searched his name on the internet, could not find anything except for one small tidbit. And it said that he received a game misconduct in the Coachella Valley game for physical abuse of officials. But again, I still have not seen any details as to what that means. But is that just skating up and bumping an official?
a guy?
Is that, did he hit him with a stick? What did he do? I don't know. I can't find it. It's not like these games are extremely well covered, especially on the road.
Yeah.
That you don't get all the details. You don't get an AP report on every single AHL game. And I have yet to be able to uncover exactly what led to the game misconduct, and now a 3-game suspension for one of the Gulls defensemen. Physical abuse of officials. Game misconduct.
It'll come out.
You got a little schmutz.
Yeah, it's
right
my
there.
new. It's my.
You've moved it down into your beard.
It's my.
It's like donut frosting.
No, it's. For
How
what?
did you gain all the weight?
For what?
Stuffing donuts.
It's not donut. It's lip balm. Is
lip
what
balm.
it is. Is it gone?
No, it's gone. Yes, congratulations.
It looks like donut frosting. Easy.
Sorry.
All right, let's get to do.
I'm not in a position to
No,
make fun of
absolutely
anyone
fair.
today. I understand.
Froggy.
Yeah.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
You guys remember the really disturbing story of San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, who was shot during a botched armed robbery.
Came back and played like what, a month later?
No, it was a little bit longer than
6
that.
weeks, maybe.
6 weeks,
He
maybe.
was back pretty fast.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just incredible. The most incredible part is what he said recently about wanting to meet the teen that shot him.
The guy you were involved with, do you think you'll ever face him like in a court, or will you ever,
I don't know too much about that kind of stuff. I have been in contact with the attorneys and stuff like that, and just getting more information about it, because he knew I was busy and I had a lot going on. We just stay here till the sun goes down, and now we got to go home, and I got to study and all that stuff. So he knew I had busy days, and so now that the off season's here, I'll probably get more information on that kind of stuff, and know how to go about that. But they were definitely asking my opinions and about like the whole situation and what I thought about it. So
are you ever curious about what caused him to?
Yeah, I'm curious, but sometimes you just don't got answers for that. You know what I mean? For me, I don't got answers. I don't know where he's came from, what environment he grew up in,
Right.
and that goes back for what I was just about to talk about, the entire opinions about the whole situation. For me, it's like, I don't know, how he grew up, so I can't judge him as a man just based off of one action that he made. Is as violent as a crime it was, God forbid him doing that to somebody else. I don't ever want that to happen. So whatever has to go into that. But for me, just being able to forgive him. At the end of the day, like I have to forgive him to have that weight off my chest. You know what I mean? And at some point, I do want to talk to the kid and make sure that if I can create an impact on him in any way, I think that would be really big. And I think I'd be definitely open to doing that. For
That's
sure.
nuts. I mean, you're going to go face the guy that shot you in an armed robbery and forgive him. It speaks to the kind of person Ricky Pearsall is. And he did reunite with some of the first responders who rushed to the scene to save him. He had the group there at Niners-Jets, the Monday Night Football game, which I think is really cool. But to be able to walk in there, sit down maybe across the glass from somebody and say, hey, man, I forgive you for what you did. It's a bigger man than me, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we know it wasn't a good season for the 49ers. Most disappointing team in football, the injuries they dealt with, but the off-the-field stuff as well. Not just Ricky Pearsall, but did you see the statements from Javarius Ward, the cornerback whose daughter died back in October, and he was talking about it this week, and he said he can barely even come back to California.
Can't
He said
fly in.
every time he flies in, it's like trauma. And he's been dealing like with the PTSD. His 1-year-old daughter died in October, and he's just been a wreck ever since. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Who wouldn't be?
And it's just such a sad story. But so many things have just been piling on the San Francisco 49ers. I think the organization kind of gets a pass this year. It's just one of those years where so much went wrong.
Things go wrong.
There was too much to overcome.
Yeah, no doubt.
For the 49ers this year, even though they had a great team.
Every
going into the
expert
season.
and analyst that I saw during their games or whatever was like, this is a good team.
Yeah.
With a ton of bad luck. You have to just throw this one away.
Yeah, looking at the talent they had, and of course looking at the talent that they lost throughout, some of the injuries and, maybe somebody's number one fantasy draft pick, that he messed that up, as Mud and Don said that he would.
Predicted it.
In the intro video. Yeah, for sure. They have had a bad run of luck there. As has the Ben and Woods program in the first 3 days of the year. So,
we're off to a good start.
Just a rolling, rollicking.
First show
good
wasn't
time.
bad. It's pretty good.
Wasn't great.
Pretty good
It's
start.
fine.
It was okay on Monday.
It was fine, I guess.
It's been a little tougher the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Let's don't and do this for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Everyone's been begging in the chat. Begging. I'm Batman.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There you go. You're welcome. Where is she? I'm Bane. All right, I want to tell you about Prize Picks. Quietly.
Tell you about calmly and quietly.
It's really not a calm and quiet in Denver. It's actually a lot of fun to play Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy. There is over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. It's easy to do. You download the app. It takes just a few seconds. And to set your lineup, it just takes a few seconds, and then you're off and running, winning real money, up to 1,000 times your cash as you run your game all season long. During the playoffs, this is a great time to get involved. Combine different player stat projections into your lineups. All the stars are there. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff. You can do passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns. They've got tons of different stat options to play. And all you have to do to start is download the app. Make sure you use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup with code KWFN at Prize Picks. And it's very easy to actually upload and download your winnings with MasterCard now with Venmo. So make sure you download the app and get started with Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
You sound great, and that sounded so smooth and sexy. I was roundly mocked in my home last night. Again, I usually am, but I was watching the new Golf League, and I didn't think I would, but I have some thoughts on it. And I know that you have some thoughts on it. He's very excited. It's probably why he's still here, so he could talk about, what is it, TGN?
TGL.
TGL.
Tomorrow Golf League.
Tomorrow Golf League. We will talk about that next.
I'm fired up that I got Woods to watch some indoor golf yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little college basketball last night, and I was wondering how the number one
Which
team.
game did you put
I
on?
watched that game,
Tennessee,
and
Florida.
then I had the Duke game on while I was making stir fry for the family, cutting up all the veggies and the chicken, and I had that Duke game on. I saw Cooper Flag. Is that his name?
That's his name.
His big ass dunk posterized that kid. But then I flipped over and I said, "How's the number one team in the country
On the road.
just getting crushed?" It was the number 8 team in the country, but still, like, it was a blowout. That was Florida and Tennessee.
It was like one of those bad Aztecs games where they just forget how to score. Paul, you remember some of those? Like,
Oh yeah.
they score like 42 points or something. and it
They'd
just,
win, 52 to 47
yeah,
or something.
they lost 73-43 to Florida yesterday.
30. They lost by 30 points
Yeah.
yesterday. So I had that on, and then I remembered that my beloved Ben Higgins was extremely excited for the TGL. It's not the Tiger Golf League.
It's not the Tech Golf League.
Tech Golf League, which many thought that it was.
Guilty as charged.
It's tomorrow's Golf League, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the impetus behind them doing this, other than simulators are a huge part. If you're a golfer and you've ever hit into a sim, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Now, I didn't think they would create an entire league off of this, but this is 2025. This is what happens. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy decided let's make a whole league and let's try to have some fun and give a peek in have real golfers do it. And so I put it on. Bo and I started watching it right when it kicked off, and it pretty much grabbed me right away. As soon as they started, I went, "Oh my God!" Like you described it yesterday, I'd seen like a little special on it, but once they started and Shane Lowry hit the first drive, I went, "Oh my God, that simulator is incredible. It's 5 stories high. The green, the undulating green, the changing landscapes, the different patches of area that they had to hit from, the fairway, the rough, the sand. I was enthralled. I was enthralled.
And then the courses that they designed,
unbelievable,
almost like impossible in real
Correct.
life, but these like majestic holes with incredible like carries and decisions that you have to make was very, very intriguing.
It was really.
There was a lava hole.
There was a lava hole.
There was a lava hole.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and I watched it. Now the thing that that happened was, and look, I don't know if this is the league or if this is just me and how I'm wired, but I made it about 4 holes, and I went, all right. I mean, I also had bath time, bedtime. I had other responsibilities, reading, all that stuff. But I was satiated after the 4 holes that I watched. I got enough, I felt.
So it wasn't a good match.
It was a bloodbath is what it was.
The New York Golf Club with Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark, and Ludwig Oberg
just smoked
absolutely destroyed Xander, Ricky Fowler, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Fowler and Fitzpatrick looked like they had never played on a simulator in their life. I mean, they were not even close on some of these shots. And the other guys looked like they were playing regular, like, yeah, we're all over this. So it was 9-2. You win points for winning holes, so that was the final score. So it wasn't a compelling match. But I thought it was interesting, the fast pace. There's a shot clock.
40 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta get up and you gotta be ready to hit and move on. Keeps it moving. I thought I was very disappointed that there were holes where, hey, go for the green, carry it 300 yards, risk going into the lava.
They laid
or
up
the
a
waterfall,
lot,
and they just keep hitting layups like this is some first round of the U.S. Open, and I don't want to make a bogey and ruin my chances.
I don't want to torch my score.
This is entertainment, dude. I mean, go for it.
Let it rip.
Get the big dog, let it eat.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see. They want to see you hit a 345-yard drive and go for the green.
Yeah, you saw guys teeing off, Paulie, with 5 woods and 3 woods, and I'm like, let this
Sounds
thing.
like something I would do.
100%.
100%. I want to see no more layup areas. I want them going for it, and I want them always going for it. If this is going to be entertaining, they're also the problem is that so many of these guys are a little personality deficient.
It's really the thing about golf that is lacking, and I like all of those guys, all of them. I like watching them play. I love Shane Lowry. He's got some juice.
He was one of the more entertaining ones.
He's
for sure.
Really entertaining. Oberg is Oberg. A-E-I-O-U. He is very handsome and very sharp, and he's a really good player.
Love Xander
so much.
I mean, he's not dynamic.
He was dynamic after he won the U.S. Open when he was on the air with us.
He was.
I mean, winning a U.S. Open will do that. I don't know how dynamic he was feeling about being in the TGL. So I did like their buy-in. I will say that I liked their buy-in. I liked how seriously they took it.
Well, the boss was sitting there.
The
Tiger was...
He looked nervous as hell, dude. I mean, that's his baby, right? So he put money into it and put his name on it. But again, hey, it was a Wednesday night with just college basketball, really, that I was interested in, and I put it on, and I just thought it was pretty cool. I liked it, and I'm glad I didn't bet because I would have bet Team Xander all day.
Me too.
And we would have been you would have been screwed.
Me too.
So I didn't do anything on that, but it was pretty interesting. Now, problem was, I tweeted it. The first shot in TGL history. I said, okay, I'm kind of in on this, and a lot of our golf buddies, we were texting back and forth. They were in on it too. Then I get a tweet from my beloved wife. It says, "This is so incredibly lame. I can hardly believe it." So she comes and gets in bed, and I go, "What's with the public?" I go, "What's wrong with this?" Because it was still on. I put it on after I put the kids to bed. She goes, it's Twitch. You're watching people play video games. I go, you don't see those real golf clubs in their hands, and they're hitting real golf balls. These are pro golfers. These aren't guys from a podcast out there playing this. That's Xander Schauffele. That's 2-time major winner Xander Schauffele playing in this thing. She goes, yeah, no, it's stupid.
I will say it was somewhat compelling when the guys from a podcast, a fairly large one, Barstool, went last week to hit some shots on the simulator.
Yeah.
And they were terrified they were going to miss the screen.
Yes.
And hit the big, expensive LED.
Correct.
Like scoreboards on the side.
And I saw a couple of improvements. One thing I would like to see, I agreed with this 100%. I want to see the swing speed. I want to see the ball speed. I want to see the metrics. We love metrics, especially in golf and baseball these days. You love metrics. So I want to see that on the screen.
Can do that. Those simulators nowadays can do that for everybody. But if you're going to do that, I want them to actually swing hard and go for the greens and the long drives. And none of this 5-wood, 265 off the tee layup stuff. That's not entertaining. That's not compelling.
So Ryan says, he tweets me, he says, I feel like the TGL concept would be more fun with the YouTube golf type creators than pros.
I think you need famous faces to make it work.
Yeah, and some of these guys are famous, on the internet and YouTube, but they're not professional.
Yeah, they're not Xander Schauffele. They're not Tiger Woods. Rory McIlroy all have teams, and they're going to be playing. It's either Tuesday or Monday nights going forward on ESPN. And I saw Jason Sobel, who we've had on the show many times, go, was it perfect?
No.
Was it better than whatever you might have been watching on a Tuesday night?
Yes.
Yeah. It was,
it absolutely was better than I gave it.
Was it better than a 30-point blowout, Florida over Tennessee?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I thought it was pretty cool. And I'm always suspect on those simulators. I've never had a good round on a simulator, probably because I'm not a good golfer. But my wife categorizing it as me sitting there watching a video game. No,
that's how I kind of viewed it.
But it's
it
not.
It feels like watching guys play video games.
No, it's 100% golf.
It's golf.
It just
without the elements.
It just changes the conditions a little bit.
Now, do they have the thing?
That's like me going to the arcade and sitting in the machine that has the steering wheel and the pedals and going, it's like NASCAR without all of the elements.
Paulie's literally driving Le Mans right now, and I'm standing behind him watching him.
Cruising USA.
Cruising USA. Cruising the world.
That's just how it feels. I don't want to like crap on it. It's fine, but there's something for everybody. That was how I initially viewed it. I'm like, this feels like watching pros play video games.
But it wasn't them playing Golden Tee. Like, all right, they reach back.
They're actually. It's like
they're swinging.
How about this? It's like watching Steph Curry try to make the shot at the fair with the little tiny basket instead of the regular sized ones and the weird balls. And
playing Pop-A-Shot.
Big stuffed animal. It's a little bit like that, which I would watch.
How much can you watch?
I would watch
How
Steph
long
Curry
can you watch
try
that
to do
for? You're not going to watch a season of Steph Curry
at the fair.
Del Mar Fair.
Boing, 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 just draining stuff, walking out with big stuffed animals. So
I don't even think he could do it. Honestly,
I think it's rigged against Steph Curry.
Impossible.
Yeah,
it's
Curry
impossible.
gets a beta fish.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I don't know. I liked it. Now it's going to be on every Tuesday night.
Tuesdays the next couple of weeks, then a Monday. I think it's early in the week when they're not playing, obviously, the real golf events.
I really enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, like Sobel said. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Look, golfers traditionally... Now, you want to really spice it up, let the curse words fly. That's what... Because golfers are, to a man, even Ben on the course has dropped some words that I have never heard before, never on the air. Ever.
F you.
Yeah, never that. But I've heard a couple of salty words out there.
Dang it.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the guys.
I think we did hear it a couple of times with Matthew Fitzpatrick.
And they
dang it.
Muted.
No.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, he's pretty milquetoast.
There needs to be more trash talk. I agree with Nick. So they do a thing, and it gave me PTSD. They do a thing called Hammer, and they have the hammer. And if you're a golfer, you know what I'm talking about. Me, Paulie, a couple of the Bogey Brotherhood guys, we played the game of Hammer once. And it was enough to never play it again.
Explain.
All right, and I think I'm probably going to butcher it, but as my memory serves. So, all right, this hole's worth $1. It's me against Paulie. So I walk up to the tee. I hit a crap tee shot. Paulie says, hammer. Now it's worth $2. Paulie hits his ball off the tee. It's a crap shot. It's worse. I go, hammer. Now it's worth $4 the hole. Paulie goes up, hits a nice punch out into the fairway. I go, I'm not going to hammer it. He's out there.
$4.
I hit a punch. He goes, hammer. Now it's worth $8.
Multiply the stakes.
Now, some guys play for a quarter a hole, and it makes more sense. We didn't know. We didn't know how gnarly it was going to get. At one point, Paulie had a chip off the green for like $360. And he missed it. I went, hammer. Right? So now it's worth $720. It was stupid. It was the dumbest thing we've ever done. We played it through that day. Paulie ended up owing me like $350. It was he won like $280 on a hole. The next hole I won
I came out like almost even.
Almost even.
Because it was like up 300, down 300. Like it was insane. insane.
So
I will never play that.
You got to put some
stupid game
guardrails.
again.
There's
Guardrails
got
on
to
the
be
hammer.
some guardrails on hammer because you miss a putt and your buddy goes hammer.
Let's start at 5 cents.
5 cents
10
and go
cents,
from there.
20 cents,
When they
40
started
cents.
dropping hammer for points, I went, oh God, now this thing's worth 2 or 4 or whatever.
We got to check traffic. When we come back after traffic, an unexpected sad loss in the San Diego baseball family. We'll get to a shout out to his family coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Tow truck is helping to clear a solo vehicle accident westbound King Freeway to 125. It's over the right shoulder. Eastbound 78 before the 15 accident was blocking the right lanes. Looks like tow truck managed to clear that over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Brandon in our YouTube stream says, just got in the chat. Ben, where's your voice? Brandon,
Laryngitis.
what are you talking about? I always sound like this.
You sound so. You actually starting to sound cool.
Oh, really?
I'm getting used to it. I think it.
We did. We got a call from Adam during our last break. He said, "I slept in. What's going on? Why are you even there?"
Yeah.
You sound awful. Go home. And I said, I feel fine. I feel fine.
You look great, and I think you sound.
I mean, you
It's
can.
like, okay, but why
there-
are you here?
you
You,
can-
sound terrible.
But you can verify. Like, you can tell when a person looks sick. Their eyes
Yeah.
are drooping. They have no energy. That's not me, right?
yeah.
I
you look fine.
I feel fine.
Yeah.
It's just the voice. It's
we got
just
a real life.
shot.
Okay.
We did on the. I can't say. I'm not allowed to make fun of him.
And then he thanked
Remember?
me. He
Oh, yeah.
thanked me
I
for
can-
coming in and
Yeah.
being there for the team.
Yeah, you can be here till 10 too. So
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He
he said, "Oh, I'll leave after taking Woods." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I'll say
Sorry.
it's fine.
Sammy's
Sammy's
gonna be
going to come in.
Yep.
We did have a very. I saw the tweet yesterday from MLB and then from the USD Toreros. Incredibly unexpected and sad. The passing at just the age of 37
So sad, man.
of probably the best pitcher USD has ever had.
Yeah.
Brian Mattis,
Brian
went
Mattis.
on to a decent major league career, mostly with the Orioles,
Yep.
I believe, and didn't see any details as to what the cause of death was.
No.
Obviously, just-
when it's that
when it's that young, you're just like, what happened? So sad.
So Adam Jones, friend of the program, tweet this morning his condolences. He played with Brian. Brian was a very high draft pick. Pitched at USD. I saw USD head coach Brock Ungrich tweeting out this morning what a dog he was. And 37, man, it just doesn't make any sense. So we had this convo off the air this morning, and I asked both of these guys. I go, am I a monster for always wanting to know what happened? Because every time something happens,
I think it's human nature.
Is it?
I think anyone who says they're not curious is just being respectful,
Yeah, I was
which
gonna
is
say,
fine.
It might make you a monster, but I think we're all monsters if that's the case.
if that's the case,
I mean, I think we all would like to try to avoid whatever it is.
Yeah.
As unavoidable as it probably is. You get sick, you're in an accident, whatever happens, you're always, I think you have that curiosity.
Yeah, it was very, very sad to see. I obviously remember him very well. Pitched in recent years. So at 37 years old, I don't know if he had a family or anything like that. I've not seen any other details other than he passed away. The MLB Players Association tweeted this morning as well, but really, really big loss.
It's one thing when Greg Gumbel, even a Ricky Henderson,
at least
young,
but
at least had a full life.
Yeah.
It always hurts when we have to do one for someone who's so young. But Paulie, if you would.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Yeah, thoughts going out to the USD family and the Orioles family and Brian Mattis's family this morning. Woods, did you see the story in the St. Louis Cardinals? Katie Wu.
No.
Well, she said she wrote that they are having a lot of difficulty trading Nolan Arenado. That was their first priority of the offseason.
As spoken by, and now I said earlier in the show, I said, look, no GM or owner is going to tell you what they're planning on doing. They all hold their cards close to the vest. Not John Mozeliak. He is maybe the exception to the rule. As he came out in the winter meeting, he's like, yep, we're going to trade Nolan Arenado. So if there's any takers out there, let me know. That is not close to the vest by any stretch. And I think it's a mutual. I think it's a mutual thing. Nolan wants out, and
they had the trade worked out earlier with the Astros, right?
And he nixed it.
They've been talking with the Red Sox, but now it feels like the Red Sox are kind of backing out,
maybe pivoting to an Alex Bregman.
Yeah, and moving on. And the Cardinals are kind of in this situation where they're not really finding any takers, but they are truly trying to lower payroll. They're scaling back. This is a rebuilding year for the St. Louis Cardinals, and it's hard to do that without shedding some of your higher-priced players.
Now, was Goldie? Goldie was a free agent, right?
Yeah,
when he signed with the Yankees over the break. But Nolan is not a free agent. He's making all sorts of. It's weird though because he's making all sorts of concessions. He'll go play other positions. He'll play first base. He'll do this. He'll do that. Well, they had you locked in, and you could have been traded to the Astros, and you said no. So whatever it was about that organization that he didn't want to be a part of, he didn't want to be a part of, and. I don't know, man. I don't know where the right home for Nolan Arenado is. I have my suspicions that it could be L.A. waiting it out, and they have so many pieces, Benny, that they can trade right now. They just DFA'd their former number one prospect. They have a glut, and I think there's one more spot on their 40-man, if I'm not mistaken, to maybe add a Southern California kid in Nolan Arenado to play third base, which, again, I think his best days may be behind him, but we've seen guys go there and play very well, too. But I don't think San Diego's a fit for Nolan Arenado. I would not want to give up anything at all for Nolan Arenado. I really wouldn't. But, yeah, how do you go into camp if he's your third baseman after all that's been said and done?
I mean, Katie says that the Red Sox look like it's the last chance, and that last chance seems to be fading away. So maybe the Dodgers aren't showing interest, or maybe they're keeping it really close to the vest and, will swoop in at the last minute. But, the Cardinals are going to have to figure out what they're going to do. And, I mean, you can't, if he's on your team, you have to play him. You can't not play him.
Of course.
But if you're trying to rebuild with younger players, he's also, blocking your plans. So it's an awkward situation that the St. Louis Cardinals have found themselves in here in the offseason. And that was always their number one priority was dealing him, and they've been unable to do it.
A lot of people in the chat have theories about your lack of voice. Somebody said maybe you were eating a candy cane too enthusiastically, and some said that the Tuesday night karaoke needs to end. I did text you last night. It's the women, it's the sex, the drugs, the alcohol that is really wearing you down. You need to take
no
better,
doubt that that's all true.
Yeah, you need to take better care of
I've managed for so long. It just feels like, why now?
We all run out of gas. Sex, drugs, and yacht rock it's a lifestyle that can only go on so long, dude. So, and you're a trooper for being here, though.
So we got Sammy Levitt's going to come by and help us out a little bit.
Sammy's coming by. I have to tell you guys what happened to me yesterday. I got my ass kicked by a tier 1. Straight up. Got my ass kicked.
In what?
Physically.
Oh.
By tier 1.
By tier 1.
Not an angry Dodgers
Temecula?
fan.
Did you meet someone?
I did not go to Ian Way. I got my ass kicked by tier 1. I'll explain next. And I'm hurting. All right, we're halfway home on a Wednesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you this morning. I am Woodsy. To my right is Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Oops, excuse me. Ben Higgins. Sorry, he hates when I do that. I'm gassy lately. Sorry. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. He's got a little bit of laryngitis.
I've got no room to criticize this
true.
morning. That's true.
Your whole voice sounds like a fart and a burp.
Something. It's definitely something.
Yep. So I hope that you can get some vocal rest.
Not going to talk the rest of the day after the show is over.
That's good. How are you going to communicate?
I'm not.
Excuse me. Just not.
Totally incommunicado. Incommunicado.
I seized it. I got my ass kicked yesterday by a tier 1. In the worst way. I got Voluntarily. I actually paid for it. Got a DM a few weeks ago from a tier 1 Brent. And Brent's like, "Hey man, hear you talking, on the show." He goes, I'm a personal trainer. Would love to train you. You guys know I have a hard time saying no to
Yes,
people.
you do.
More than maybe anybody I know.
Hey, thanks for the offer, man. But, no, I'm good. I really appreciate it, though. That's all you have to say.
I've lost some LBs on my own. I've cleaned up the diet a little bit, and I've done the weighted vest walks and been in the gym. It's the beginning of the year. You feel inspired to try something new. And I've had a trainer before, and it was great, and I loved it. And it was a lot. And So I get the DM from him, and I said, yeah. It wasn't like a push off, but it was like, yeah, after the holidays, let's reconnect. And to his credit, he reached back out and said, "Hey, how does Tuesday work?" And I said, "Oh God, I'm in. I got to do it." So I said, "I'm ready." Now again, I've been working out, walking the neighborhood with the weighted vest on, cleaned up the diet, been lifting weights a little bit. And I DM'd him yesterday during the show. Yesterday was a tough show, and I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. And I said, "What do you have in mind for today?" He goes, "Dude, easy. Just a full body, 40 minutes, in and out. You'll be fine. It's light, very light." I go, "All right, that's right up my alley. Light and quick." I said, "Where do you train out of?" He said, PB. He's got a gym that he trains out of in PB. And I said, "Okay, 20 minutes from the station, but I've got time. I don't have to be at pickup or anything like that till later, so we're good." So I drive out there and walk in, and he's with another client, and I got about 20 minutes to spare. So I foam roll and stretch and do all the things that get on the treadmill, get the heart rate going. Walks up to me and says, "All right, let's get this thing going. Keep it light today." Kind of an intro. Like, great. Tells me, he's been listening for a while. He's got a 9-year-old son, and we're chopping it up. He's like, "Jump on the rower and give me 400 meters. I hate the rowing machine. I'd rather do a night in jail than to get on the rowing machine for even 400
So why
meters.
didn't you just say, I don't like the rowing machine. Can we do something else?
Because he's the trainer. He's the boss.
No,
All right, how about some sit-ups? Nah, I don't like those either.
You are the boss. You're paying him.
No, that's not. No,
paying him.
I'm paying him to get me in
You're
shape.
afraid of looking weak in front of a
love
tier
the rowing
1 and a
machine.
trainer. You're
I
afraid.
hate the rowing machine so much.
Just say
It's
that.
one of my favorite machines.
I hate it.
Just say that.
No, I can't.
You wouldn't say it.
It's like as full body of a workout as you can get.
So I rip 400 meters, and I am already, and I'm trying to stifle the breathing. He takes me over to the hack squat machine, and I have to do 15 hack squats. Now get really deep, get low. The hack squat, you squat down. It's like you're on an angle, and then you squat all the way down. Your knees go below 90 degrees, and then you go up. 15 of those. My knees are knocking together at this point. I'm done. I'm exhausted. All right, give me 20 push-ups. Oh my God, I'm so weak and powerless. Here's my 20 push-ups that I had to break up. All right, now we're gonna do some straight leg, bent over rows. One leg out, and you do rows. 15 each arm. Then you got to go over and you got to do a minute plank. All right, so I do that. That's one set. I had to do it all over again. Ooh. Now, what happened to me when I went down to do my first set of push-ups, I tweaked my hamstring.
Hey,
Doing a push-up.
doing push-ups.
So it was the getting down. It was the getting down after the hack squats to kick my legs out. I tweaked my.
So it was a feeble injury, not a workout injury.
Feeble injury, not a. God, Woodsy was threw up so much weight that he tweaked his hamstring. It was literally just getting down to get in push-up position. I tweaked my hamstring and my groin. So the first thing I think of is like, we were supposed to play golf tomorrow at Torrey Pines. For the Farmers Insurance Open Media Day. It's something we look forward to as a show every year. I can't play now. I can't swing. He kicked my ass in that workout so bad that when I left, I had to drive from PB back to Encinitas. This is 25 minutes. I couldn't even see straight. My eyes were like crossed. I thought I was going to throw up. I went home. No one was home. I got in bed and fell asleep for an hour and a half. Just sacked completely out. Sweat and all. Hannah doesn't know that. Didn't shower. Just got right. I couldn't function. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything.
I mean, you're not training for an Iron Man.
But that's not an Iron Man. That's any grown man should be able to handle that.
You're never going to be in the Mr. Universe competition.
But
why did you go so hard? There's no reason.
I didn't.
You don't need to go that hard.
It's not a hard workout necessarily for someone that's not a weakling, out of shape turd. And I told him, I go to the gym, a couple days a week. I don't feel like this when I leave, right? Meaning I'm not pushing myself hard enough.
You're not doing it right.
He kicked my teeth down my throat. And I got home, I literally pulled the covers up over in bed, and I fell asleep for an hour and a half. Jeffrey said, that's a bit much for an intro. I thought so, too.
I agree.
But
I went to my trainer yesterday for, the 5th straight year of Tuesdays, and we never get that. Not that intense of training.
So who's right and who's wrong?
But I told her, I want to keep it light. We work on flexibility. We don't do heavy weights.
I didn't do.
We're very careful with my knees and back.
I didn't do heavy weights.
I'm a 49-year-old man. I don't want to injure myself. That's like part of the deal.
I got injured.
So I don't.
I got injured the first day. So now we got fantasy camp coming up in 10 days or so. We're going to go out and play 2 games a day. My hammy is fried. My groin is fried. I don't know what to do.
Are you ready for fantasy camp?
Are you warning the Padres training staff before you arrive that you're going to need some extra work on your groin when you're there?
Yes. I texted our buddy JoJo yesterday, and I go, hey, dude, I'm so sorry to bother you. I tweaked my hamstring. I'm embarrassed. I go, what do I do? Rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation. Do I do heat? And he's like, do I do my gun on it? So I did my gun on it right around the, areas. So I'm laying there and just with the gun on my groin, my hamstring. I had an ice pack around it all night. Hannah's looking at me going, that's my husband. And he's 49. It's only going to get worse.
So surely, you texted the listener and said, I'm never again.
Done.
Don't lose my number.
No,
done.
Can I chime in?
Sammy's here.
Hi, Sammy.
Yeah. I think it was probably an appropriate workout that you're just not accustomed to. Because when I've done Orange Theory, and I've gone for the first time in a while, and that's happened a couple of times where I don't go for a long time, that first one, second one back, not only is it physically grueling, demanding, I feel like I'm going to pass out, but I'm sore 3-4 days.
The funny thing is,
I'm
really not sore.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's just my hammy and my groin. Now, can I say something else?
Now, right, because you're talking about a pulled muscle, whatever situation.
No, he says that's your problem. Your hamstring isn't in your groin. I understand that. I had a little twinge in my groin for a while. It's all connected down there. All of it is connected, right?
Like shoulders, knees, and toes.
If your knees hurt, foam roll your quads, right? These are all things I learned. Your back hurts, foam roll. I carry this lacrosse ball with me everywhere. And if your back hurts, smash your glutes. Like I learned this stuff years ago. It works. But my groin and my hammy are really tweaked. But here's what I wanted to tell you guys too. So the gym again was in PB.
Right.
So I show up, I'll tell you, it was like Ocean Pacific. Does that sound right? Hang on. I'll tell you right now.
Was like a CrossFit type place?
No. It's a gym. They got everything. It's Ocean Pacific Gym and Wellness. Okay. And you walk in, it's at the top floor of the strip mall. They got, bro.
Oh, yeah. On Mission Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when I'm warming up, I looked outside and there were literal dudes with their shirts off.
Oh, yeah.
That were yoked.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just, and I'm like, oh God. So the anxiety started to kick in too. I had more hair on my legs and body than any other person in there.
Oh, yeah.
I was the only person in there in pants. Every man that was in there had shorts that came up to here.
Short
as can be.
Yeah.
Some of them shirtless, all of them tan, all of them good looking. I come in bummy ass sweatpants and a t-shirt, and when I walked out of there yesterday, I was like, I just felt so out of sorts. I did make it through. I made it through the workout. So, Paul, you asked, did I must have told him to lose my number.
Yeah.
No, I signed up for 4 more sessions. So I got 3 more of these to look forward to. He was great. He's great at what he does. He kicked my ass.
I think it'll get easier. I think this was probably now the tweaking of the of your hamstring. That's
I'm
not great.
So bummed.
Yeah,
I'm so bummed.
So if you are still hurting for fantasy camp, that'll be an issue.
It will. I think I'll just wrap it tight,
you're
play
gonna have
first
to get through
base.
it,
Yeah.
You did say something that resonated, though, when you said you absolutely hate the rowing machine.
I hate it.
I hate the rowing machine,
We all
too.
have
Yes.
that one exercise that we despise.
Some of us
right?
have like 12.
All right, well, let's share those when we come back.
There's something you said as a part of this whole story that I want to explore.
Okay.
As somebody who's
we
not
also
married.
need a contestant for Take on Woods. If you'd like to join us, 833-288-0973. Chance to qualify for a trip to Las Vegas in our musical trivia contest. That is coming up now. Call us right now, 833-288-0973. First, self-driving cars are no longer science fiction. They're on our roads right now. But have you considered the ethical dilemmas they present in an unavoidable accident? How does a car decide who to protect, passengers or pedestrians? These aren't just philosophical questions. They're real issues that could affect your safety and legal rights. At the Barnes firm, they are deeply engaged with all of these issues. They understand that while self-driving cars actually aim to reduce accidents, they're not infallible. Issues like software glitches, sensor failures, hacking can lead to serious accidents. So they have a team of expert attorneys ready to handle these complex cases. If you are in an accident with a self-driving car or you're a passenger in an accident, you need a law firm that understands these unique situations. Please give the Barnes firm a call. Set them up with a free consultation at 1-800-8-MILLION or go online to thebarnesfirm.com. You need an attorney that's going to support you and advocate you in every step of your case, and that is the Barnes firm. Don't face it alone. Call 1-800-8-MILLION or go online to thebarnesfirm.com. Could be the best phone call you ever make.
Jamul Casino. Fun above all else.
Seeing some, am I getting worse? Seeing some,
just keep it low.
Seeing some unpopular exercises in our chat.
Get a good, like, clear.
There's nothing in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Your throat doesn't feel swollen?
Not really, no.
Kendry Morales with a home run. Vladimir Guerrero had key hits along, along the way.
I didn't have my headphones on. What was it? Paulie, you know that's not a sore throat. That's nut skin. That is a peanut that got caught in his throat.
Elisa says running. She will only do it to avoid danger in exercises that you... I hate lunges so much.
I hate
so
that
much.
rower.
I hate lunges.
The rower sucks.
I hate the rower.
They're the worst. So I just don't do them.
Lunges. Oh, so you don't do them.
I just don't do them. I just decided, you know what? We did it for like a year, and I go, I hate these. And I told my trainer, I don't want to do them anymore.
I don't mind
And we don't.
lunges. Ever try to lunge backwards?
Yeah.
I feel
Terrible.
like a complete
Like
moron.
a baby giraffe.
The medicine, the medicine ball when you're twisting.
The medicine
I don't
ball
love the
twist.
medicine ball twist.
Anything with a medicine ball, I like. I like med ball slams. I like rotational throws into the wall. I love those.
I had to do once the I don't know what they're even called, the heavy ropes. And you gotta,
the attack
whip
ropes
them.
or whatever.
Yeah, those
Those
forever.
look cool in
Forever.
movie montages when the
Yeah.
hero is
Yeah, that's what they
training.
do.
Just wham and wham, and then
Yeah.
my old trainer used to love those. Yeah, burpees.
No,
forget it.
no.
Forget it.
No.
Forget it. I don't need these. Make me can I just do jumping jacks for my cardio? I like those. I'll do I'll rip 100 jumping jacks on you in a second.
Those are fun.
Yeah, lunges suck. The rowing machine sucks. Front squat is one of the worst exercises ever. The barbells in front. Back squats I love. I can do squats all day. Very important, I think, to our longevity. Love those. But yeah, anything burpee. I don't mind planks. I don't like sit-ups. I don't like push-ups. I don't like chin-ups because I can't do any.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Any. Have you ever? Does your trainer make you do the chin-ups with the big stretchy band that like They're
Oh,
assisted chin-ups, and you're in the gym. Well, you don't. You work out in her garage,
No, but
right?
she's got bands, but we don't do chin-ups with bands.
When I first went to the gym, that I
Tie
used
a knot around the
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, yeah. You
and
slide
then
it through, and then you
climb
step
in.
into it, and they go boing, boing. Oh, these are easy. Look how good I am at chin-ups. You feel so lesser than when you go and do it.
So I'm a little concerned that the contestant is not going to be able to understand me or take on Woods. So we're going to enlist Sammy Levitt as the guest host today for Take on Woods.
An honor.
Let's get to it.
Wow.
All right, Sammy, I'm going to pass over the microphone. You can tell everybody what they're playing for. Here's the sponsor. Here's the prize, and we will get you going here.
All right. Time for Take on Woods. The prize today, a 2-night stay at Planet Hollywood and 2 tickets to see the Scorpions. Beat or tie Woods, and we will qualify you for a chance to win our grand prize. Like I said, a 2-night stay at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, 2 tickets to see the Scorpions, and a $100 gas card. Scorpions return with their 60 Years of the Scorpions Las Vegas residency show, live February 27th to March 11th at PH Live at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Very well done.
All right, we begin things. Oh, I need, let me put on Woods' headphones here. Hold on.
I need to get a call.
All right, now I can hear our caller. We begin our first contestant, only contestant, Scott in Scripps Ranch. Scott, hello.
Morning, Sammy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. My best Ben Higgins impression. Are you ready to take on Woods today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Ben's
Gotta pick a category.
Okay, let's. Where are the categories here? Here. Okay. So.
Just read. All right.
Oh.
Just read mystery category.
Okay, mystery category.
All right, we got.
Oh, I see. Okay. We have the mystery category. We have all my questions and M&Ms. Those are your 3 category choices today, Scott.
Tell them what all my questions.
All my questions today. We have 5 song titles that all begin with the words "all my." The M&Ms category, 5 song titles that include a women's name that begins with the letter M. And the mystery category. So, what do you want to play,
Mystery
Scott?
category. That's the one where you get the 2-second song right. Then that's your clue for the rest of the other 4 categories or the other 4 questions.
Yes. So, what do you want to play, Scott?
Let's do All My.
All my. Okay. All my. We will play the all my questions category. 60 seconds, right, Paulie? 60 seconds.
Correct.
And we will begin
Give me
with
1
the
second.
2-second song when Paulie is ready.
Title and the artist. Title and artist.
We need the
Title and
title
artist.
and the
We need
artist.
Scott. Title and artist when we play the 2-second song. We will begin, though, with the 2-second song when Paulie is ready. If you pass, we'll come back to it later.
You got it.
Very good.
All right, Scott, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here's your 2-second song. Need the title and the artist. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go.
I know it. I got to pass, though, for a second.
All right, Scott, in a country classic from 1987, it's why George Strait hangs his hat in Tennessee.
Next 11 seconds.
All right, correct. Which 1998 hit for Casey and JoJo was the R&B duo's most successful release?
All My Life.
Correct. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you is the first line from which 1963 Beatles classic?
All My Lovin'.
Correct. Which 1984 song was reworked by Hank Williams Jr. into the Monday Night Football opening theme starting in 1989?
My Rowdy Friends.
Yeah, keep going. You're
What's the
almost
rest
there.
of it?
All My Rowdy. Go back to the 2 seconds. It's All My Love
Back-
by Led Zeppelin.
Yes,
Yep,
correct.
yep.
Back to the last question. Which 1984 song was reworked by Hank Williams Jr. into the Monday Night Football opening theme? All right. That was 4 out of 5,
was
correct?
so close, yeah.
The answer to that, by the way, Scott, was All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight. So close, but doesn't count. It's 4 out of 5. Okay, 4
Now we
out of
bring
5.
back Woods. He's talking to Adam.
We'll bring
out
back
there.
Woods. Doesn't get the category. The messiest version of Take on Woods ever, but we're getting through it.
Crushing it.
Oh, yes. Those work.
I got
Yes,
yours.
Yes. I sorry, I had to take yours.
You're fine.
Okay. So
man,
Woods,
live radio.
you are taking on Scott today.
You know how the game
And,
works?
I do.
Okay, very good.
Great. All right.
60 seconds. Let's take on Scott.
That's All My Love, Led Zeppelin.
Correct. And a country classic from 1987. It's why George Strait hangs his hat in Tennessee.
All My Exes Live in Texas.
Correct. Which
Same.
1998 hit for Casey and JoJo was the R&B duo's most successful release?
Everyone's going to make fun of me. I don't know. Come back to it. Pass.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you tomorrow, I'll miss you is the first line from which 1963 Beatles classic?
All My Lovin'.
Correct. Which 1984 song was reworked by Hank Williams Jr. into the Monday Night Football opening theme starting in 1989?
All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down?
No. Incorrect. Try again.
No,
No,
can't
keep
try
going.
again.
All right, back to which 1998 hit for Casey and JoJo was the R&B duo's most successful release?
What's the category? Love? Something love? No. Crap. Taint.
We got a
That's an
winner.
L.
Is that
Scott.
it's an L?
It's an L. Now, how much of that has to do with the host? I don't know.
I don't think very much.
I don't
Okay.
think very much. I think you were fine.
Okay.
Well, let's just switch headphones, though. Very
Scott,
comfortable.
congratulations. Sammy, you did a great job. The category was All My Questions. All My Love, All My Exes Live in Texas, All My Life by Casey and JoJo.
All My Life.
All My Loving by the Beatles, and All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over tonight.
What did I say? All My Rowdy
Friends
Friends
Are Settling Down. That was his sequel, I
All
think.
My Rowdy Friends Have Settled
Down. But the first one was All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight,
Mm.
which was the Monday Night Football theme, obviously, for many years.
Many years.
Scott, congratulations. Paulie will get your information.
Good job,
during
Scott.
The break.
First
Put you
L.
into the drawing for the trip to Las Vegas. Congratulations.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I know Woods loves Black Monday in the NFL.
What?
We also had Black Tuesday yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And another
We
coach
lost another one.
Lost his job. We can get into that and more coming up next with Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. But first,
going to tell us all about QC Kinetics.
I am going to tell you about QC Kinetics. Now, I wish that I had hurt one of my joints yesterday in the gym, because if I did, I know exactly where I would go. I would go to QC Kinetics, but I hurt a groin and a hamstring. But if you have joint pain right now, and you don't have to live that way this year, if it's your knees, your hips, your back, or shoulder, make the decision now to say, no, I'm not going through this again in 25. So get moving again with help from QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. Natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people, I'm one of them, have discovered these cellular treatments. They're living their life again without constant pain in their joints. If you want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints, get lasting relief with these incredible treatments, call QC Kinetics. They'll give you a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN, or go to QCkinetics.com. But call them today, 619-614-PAIN. Let them know Woodsy sent you.
Congrats to Scott for his victorious performance on Take on Woods. And Sammy, great job hosting.
Oh,
Great job.
I think it was like a B-
Par for the
hosting
course
job
today, guys.
You filled in when necessary. I just have to talk too slowly and deeply
Yeah, just
to really
deeply.
be a host today.
You're doing great.
Thanks. I'm having another lasage.
We
right
can
now.
all hear it. Yeah, we
Sorry, I thought
hear you sucking on your
thought it
lasage
would be done by now, but
on
I'm
the
still
air.
going with the lasage. Well, Black Monday, we thought maybe everybody was safe that made it through Black Monday, but not Antonio Pierce.
No.
Are you ready for the football?
That was one of the take on
It
Woods
sure
questions
was.
too.
Tom Telesco stays, though.
Yeah, as general manager of the
Yeah.
Raiders,
Was
Antonio
Antonio
Pierce.
Pierce, he wasn't his guy, right?
That was not his guy. He was the interim.
Well, he was the interim.
Filled in
Yeah.
for whatever remainder of the previous season. This was his first full season.
year, yeah.
But he was promoted to the interim coach, and then they hired Telesco.
So the Raiders were the victim of one of those mirage hot finishes under
Yes.
an interim coach, and they felt like, let's roll with the good thing.
The old Rob Thompson.
Yeah. Well, no, that was not a mirage.
He's been
done
fine. He's been fine, but you know what I'm saying.
done
Like
good.
he got the gig, but
It happens sometimes where a guy looks good for 3 or 4 weeks, and you
Yeah.
go, well, we can't. I mean, we got to hire him now.
the
right?
players love him.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. The Phillies lose in the division series this year.
Then it's
Gonna
the
get
mirage.
hot.
I
Yeah.
know exactly. It is. There's something to it, right? Like, it was so bad under this guy. This guy comes in and he's fresh and he's open and he's seen all year long what not to do to relate to the players, right? And so he comes in and he gets 4 games left and he's like, I'm going to do it different. We're playing for each other, blah, blah, blah. They go out, they win some games. You're like, you know what? They love this guy. They'll run through a wall for this guy. Let's get him in. And then he gets the full slate, the full season, and it doesn't go well at all.
So keep in mind, Tom Telesco's track record of hiring coaches is abysmal. With the Chargers.
Yeah,
I mean,
the worst. They've hired. What was
abysmal.
the stat that I saw? Yes, the Raiders as an organization. Yes, Mark Davis and Tom Telesco, maybe the 2 worst employers of hiring managers in sports franchise history.
Mike McCoy and Anthony Lynn are 2 of the worst head coaching hires of this generation
Correct.
of football.
Correct.
Both made
Mark
by
Davis
Tom
has
Telesco.
John Gruden.
Yep.
So the interesting part about this head coaching search is that Tom Brady will reportedly be playing an active role,
Very
participating in. You would think that Tom Brady's opinion is going to carry a lot of weight with Mark Davis in who the next coach of the Las Vegas Raiders is going to be.
Well, once again, man, we will see the age-old question in sports is just because you were a great quarterback, will that make you a great executive? Michael Jordan, not so much. Derek Jeter, not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on down the road of man, just because you could do it at the highest level and do it better than anybody, how does that translate to the boardroom, the front office, the ability to go out and identify who's going to turn this franchise around? And I know Raider fans have to be. I mean, they're probably happy Antonio Pierce is gone because anytime you have a record like that in a season like that, 4-13, you're like, all right, we need fresh blood in here. But you need players. For me, if you're firing Antonio Pierce, you got to fire Tom Telesco. You just have. You got. If you're going to start it over, start it over.
I disagree. I think you got
But
to
Telesco
let the
didn't-
GM that you hired
Right.
bring in his guy.
I agree with that.
Tom Brady didn't hire Tom Telesco.
Yeah, but Tom
No, but
Brady's
he's a
a
minority
minority owner.
But if he's picking who the next head coach,
He's part of the
helping who's
process.
picking the next head coach. Take it out of Mark Davis's hands.
Put it this way. Are they going to overrule Tom Brady if he says this guy should be our next head coach?
Right.
Who in that room is going to say, Tom,
Davis,
you don't know what you're talking
You're
about.
dead wrong. I don't. Mark Davis isn't going to do it.
No.
Tom Telesco isn't going to do it. Tom Brady is picking the head coach. It may be sold as a collaborative effort, but I can almost assure you his opinion is not going to be overruled by anybody in that room.
And yeah.
Which is problematic because he's also the #1 lead broadcaster on
which is
Fox.
crazy. Which is crazy that you would have somebody who would pick a head coach and then possibly broadcast their games on national TV.
Yeah.
My God, that's Bill Belichick's music.
Yeah,
He
right. I
comes
mean,
walking in.
But again, if you're a Raiders fan, it's just more of the same. Every year, this organization is trying to get back to their former greatness, and I don't know. I don't know who the right answer is. I don't know if you go young, if you go retread, if you go, way off the charts with, bringing back somebody like John Gruden. I don't think they will.
And they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback because that's the team that he was fired from. Listen, they have no quarterback. They need huge help at skill positions, line, the whole thing. You got to start there and build outward. But yeah, I wasn't surprised when Antonio Pierce got let go.
Who is like the best former player that also had success as an executive? And I mean this in like the level of player that they were,
in
as well as
sports?
Executive.
Jerry West.
Yeah, Jerry West.
NFL John Lynch is.
Yeah.
John
Lynch
was
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, very good.
Because you're right, like the better the player, it seems like the worse the executive.
I mean, in baseball, recent example, you could argue maybe. Well, Chris Young was a pretty good pitcher for a long time.
He was.
I mean, pitched a long
We'll
time.
see how
He's been
Buster Posey does.
Good executive. That's going to be a great one. Yeah.
Coming up, but
I mean, Magic
sometimes-
Johnson, how much of an executive is he, or just money behind the scenes? I don't know.
I think he's technically an executive, right? I mean,
he is.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
He's an executive. So
I don't know how. I mean, it's not like they.
Danny Ainge, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Adam Klug says Michael Jordan. He was
It's
he was
exactly
terrible.
the opposite
Terrible.
of what we're talking about.
Oh, then he says lol. That Adam, I can't. I'm not allowed to make fun of him.
Great
dynamite comment. Dynamite drop.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
I walked up the stairs with Adam.
So tell me more about that. Why?
You walked up the stairs.
Well, we walked in at the same time. You guys know he walks up the stairs.
I did not know that.
Oh.
I didn't know he walks up every day.
Oh, from what I understand, he walks up. He does not take the elevator in this building.
For exercise?
I believe so.
Does he wear his weighted vest?
He was not wearing his weighted vest.
I have not gotten the feedback on the weighted vest from him yet.
Well, he wasn't wearing it today.
Remember
Is
when
that an eyewash move?
we walked it? We walked in at the same time. I said, I'm here to help out your popular morning program. He said, do you want to walk the stairs with me? I said, sure. And we walked up 6 flights of stairs.
I've done it. I hate it.
I just don't want to be sweaty when I get to work.
Yeah, I get out of breath. I found out yesterday, I don't really like being out of breath. Once I start to get out of breath, I start to panic more, and then I'm more out of breath. So I like a nice medium pace. Just a nice, let's get some lifts in, take a little 2-minute breather, minute and a half, get back to lifting. I don't like this super circuit, hit the rowing machine in between your pulls and your squats. We can stretch it out even an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You love my trainer. She never forces me to go faster. Just go at your own pace. It's nice. It's leisurely.
See, I don't need that. I'm a leisurely guy. I need the opposite. I'm a leisurely go at my own pace guy anyway. I need somebody to whip my ass, and that's what I got. Thank you, Brett.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Catching up with Padres pitcher Michael King and the Padres dugout about to launch the King of the Hill Foundation. We'll talk about that in a second.
Isolated with
Great to see you again.
Yeah, of course. I think it's been some spring training, right?
So
Where
it
was this?
6.5 months ago, we first met you in the back patio at Peoria. It was a great conversation. As you look back now, what stands out to you?
That's his normal breathing.
It is not.
It's just isolated on that microphone.
It is
Bit
not.
of a throwback. That was last summer. Yeah, we were interviewing Michael King.
I was in much worse
in the
shape.
dugout.
Then.
Yeah.
I was 20 pounds heavier then.
And the technical reason behind it is we had 2 mics that were fed into our little recording machine.
So embarrassing.
But they're on separate tracks, essentially. So I had one, call it a 10-minute clip of Ben's microphone and Woods' microphone. We mix them together. That's what you end up hearing at the end of the day. But when I was going back, I just pulled only Woods' microphone. And when he's not asking a question, that's...
3, 2, 1. Catching up with Padres pitcher Michael King and the Padres dugout about to launch the King of the Hill Foundation. We'll talk about that.
It's unbelievable. Just morbidly obese.
I'm sitting in my house, I'm editing this, and I go, oh. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh, I hate it. God. That's what he said. It sounds like a pug.
Everyone loves bugs.
Good. Catching up with Padres pitcher Michael King and the Padres dugout about to launch the...
That's more embarrassing than me saying that Peter Seidler wanted to eradicate the homeless population. yesterday, which I listened to 1,000 times.
All right, speaking of things that are bad for your health, stress is bad for your health. And I just got an email that made me laugh about the most stressed fan bases in Major League Baseball.
It's not even close.
I'll tell you where the San Diego Padres rank on this this obviously PR style email that I just got right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Jack in the Box. Double trouble on westbound 8. Got a crash before Waring Road. Several vehicles in the center divide. Then more slowing toward this accident before Taylor Street. This is always a tricky spot. Accident in middle lanes for you there. That's West 8 forward Taylor Street. Also, northbound side of the 805 at the northbound 15 connector ramp. There's a crash involving a couple vehicles. Looks like this may have the right lane of that transition block. And northbound side of the 15 before University, there is a solo vehicle accident over to the right shoulder. Eastbound King Freeway, still clearing an accident just past Euclid. It's over the right shoulder. Emergency crews have got that right lane blocked. Don't like to be told what to eat and when? Then let me introduce you to the $6 all-day big deal meal at Jack in the Box. No matter the hour, you get to choose from 4 entrees and 5 tasty sides, plus a drink. So, do you and get a burger, fry, and hash browns in the morning. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, so I got this email from a PR guy named George. This just came in. It says, "Hi, Ben. Hope you're doing well. I don't sound like it, but I'm doing fine. Thank you. Being a sports fan can be a roller coaster of emotions, especially for MLB enthusiasts. But that begs the question, which fan base feels the most stress? To answer this question, the team at Vegas Insider analyzed every team in Major League Baseball across 7 stress factors. These included the number of games lost in the 2024 season, average attendance, online positive negative sentiment, and the year of their last World Series win. With all that considered, they've come up with their list. And according to Vegas Insider, the #1 most stressed team in Major League Baseball is the Colorado Rockies.
Makes sense.
I don't sense a lot of stress from Rockies fans.
No.
I sense resigned depression, but not really any stress. There's no chance. They have no chance. There's no reason to be stressed.
Yeah, you don't get stressed out about things that you didn't expect anything from anyway. If you're a Rockies fan and you're getting upset because the Rockies lost 100 games, well, you weren't paying attention. You know, like you.
Were we all stressed out in 2014? I don't think so.
No, you just kind of knew this is going to suck.
Yeah.
And when you know something's going to suck, you're not really stressed about it.
You're not adding any big time players.
Yeah.
You're not expected to win.
So the
Seems
next
very unstressful.
The next 4 teams on the list I can see. It's the White Sox, the Rays, the Athletics, and the Marlins.
Okay.
All right,
the
so
worst teams in baseball.
it's bad teams. You know, there's been a lot of stressful things. The Rays had their stadium. The
Torn
attendance
apart.
is bad. The Athletics are moving. The Marlins spend no money. Their stadium is empty. Makes a lot of sense. But when I was looking at the metrics, I realized, well, the Padres really shouldn't. The only thing that they don't do well, right, is the World Series. They haven't won that, but last year they had a good season. The attendance is always great, so they should probably be pretty low on this list. But they come in at number 9. And the reason is,
Top 10,
according to this email,
Probably
is
the
that
online presence.
the Padres have 152,900 negative mentions online.
Oh.
In fact, a whopping 43% of all online comments are negative, showing that fans are often unhappy with performances. So apparently, around Major League Baseball, we have some of the most negative online fans in all of baseball.
I mean,
Did you believe that?
I live it. I live it every day. See it on social media. These guys are this, they're that. You know,
Would you say they're negative or passionate?
That's a good point, Sammy. There's a distinction to be made, I think.
But this is based on 2024. I mean, I feel like before the end, for a good 3-month, 4-month stretch, wasn't a whole lot of negative baseball-wise.
You're really sweet to think that. But, when you do a 4-hour radio show and you monitor this chat, This team they'd win like 7 in a row, and it would be like you guys yelling at us, and they're like, you need to do this and that. It's all right, man. I get it. This is smoke and mirrors, blah blah blah. Like, look, man, I like winning ball games any way I can. It doesn't really matter how you got there. I don't think anybody could have foreseen the 24 scoreless. No. It was an anomaly, especially last year. But there's negativity, sure, but there's also a lot of positivity.
Well, now I get these emails all the time, and let me tell you, I am highly questionable of the methodology of some of these surveys. They're just PR emails. There's nothing really scientific about that, and I think I agree with people in our chat are saying it's probably Dodgers fans. If someone tweets Padres suck, and that goes on as a negative comment,
Benny, I'm going to say there's a lot of Padres fans too.
Yeah, but there's
also
a lot of Dodgers fans that are tweeting negative things about the Padres. I'm sure
there's some. We've talked about it before. There's the percentage that just like to complain, and that's okay. That's your right.
Somebody commented in the chat, Kevin from Chula Vista is 40% of the negativity.
Yeah, I was going to say 153,000 negative comments. I know of 4 guys that could probably count for 70% of that. Which again, that's your time. That's where a lot of, and what I realized about social media is a lot of people just use it to vent, just to kind of get it off your chest, and you can't take it personally. I don't take it personally anymore. I just sometimes you just want to get it off your chest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to vent. I don't take it personally either.
Yeah,
right. I mean, we talked about my hate,
the hate that you get.
There are some funny tweets too.
Sometimes if they're clever, I kind of enjoy it. But
you can't take it personally. It's just words.
No, there's only one big market team that came in the top 10 of most stressed fans. Would you like to guess?
The New York Mets.
Yankees.
That's what I was going to say.
Sammy. A team that made it to the World Series last year.
The Mets?
The Mets.
They didn't make it to the World Series.
No, to the championship series last year. Yes, so the championship series, the Mets were number 10 on the list of most stressed fan base.
Easy.
I can see it.
Yes.
I can see it.
Not the Phillies, their fans are always...
With the expectations comes stress.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, with expectations. But I do think there is a delineation of passionate and negative. And I know fans that are negative, but the reason that they're negative is because they care and because they're passionate. So I totally understand that perspective.
I think if you are a baseball team, you would rather fans be passionate, quote unquote, or passionate / negative
than apathetic,
than not care.
Apathy is the worst quality a human can have, especially when it comes to a sport.
And I don't want to tell you how to fan. You can absolutely be negative and critical all you want. That's your right, and that's fine. Don't be stressed about it, though.
Yeah.
It's not your. You don't own the team.
Zach
You're not
says
employed by the team. Don't be stressed. Be mad, fine, but don't be stressed.
Zach says it's like the guy who never gets any. Then when he finally does, he turns into a happier person. If we ever won a World Series, a lot of the frustration would dissipate for a long time. I want to agree with you, Zach. I do want to agree with you. In a perfect world, pie in the sky scenario, you win one World Series, we all say it. All I need is one. All I need is one. It ain't going to be enough.
Well, the Angels, aren't in the top 10.
Are they not?
They're not stressed at all.
I guess they're not stressed.
I would be. I mean, that World Series was 20-plus years ago.
See, Angels fans, I think, were probably apathetic.
They're apathetic, I think.
Got an Aztecs game tonight. We talk a little college basketball. Reindl Report in our final hour as well. All coming up. More Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
So also just let the music bleed too. I'll play a song for.
Nine o'clock straight up here on 97.3 The Fan. Welcome back to Ben and Woods, the very popular morning program here on San Diego's #1 sports station. Sam Levitt with you, alongside Stephen Woods, friendly neighborhood sports anchor Ben Higgins, and Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program, also the imaging director of 97.3 The Fan. 1 hour left in the program this morning on this January 8th. I think we're having a good time.
I think so, man.
A four-man show this morning.
It's been fun.
Ben Higgins, not necessarily under the weather, but struggling vocally is, I guess, the way to put it. But sounds good. He's contributed very much so.
Very much so.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel like I'm puppeteering Sammy right now to do what I would be doing at the moment, and he's doing a great job.
That's fair. A lot of people in the chat still talking about what's going on up in L.A. right now with the fires. I don't even know what to tell you. Check out that app that Paul's wife recommended earlier, Watch Duty. That's D-U-T-Y. Obviously. I was texting with a buddy that is a fire captain here in San Diego, and he said they're sending people up right now. Then he sent me some gnarly footage. One of his guys sent him when they rolled up to L.A. He said winds are insane right now. I did see a fire chief earlier from Los Angeles talking about how all of this started from a backyard fire. And it just is like, oh, my gosh.
And remember, this could happen easily here. Be very careful and safe today.
It makes me want to leave today, go home and make sure I've got some ducks in a row. As far as a grab bag, a go bag, and get things organized. I've got pets, I got kids.
Obviously, no barbecues. One thing that sparks a lot of fires, if you have something loose hanging from your car, like metal, sparks on the road, catches the brush on the side of the road.
I see that a lot.
It happens. So make sure you're tight on your vehicles today.
Cigarettes, the whole bit.
Well, obviously, nothing flammable out of your car. You have to be so careful today. It is just awful what's going on. I did hear that my grandma, my Omi, she's safe. She got evacuated at 1 a.m. She's in her 90s. Got over to my cousin's place, and it's not ideal, and I'm sure it's really, really hard, but at least she's safe. And I saw the flames. You could see the picture from her living room in that area near Santa Monica right now. Just awful.
It's apocalyptic. I mean, some of the pictures that you're seeing. Paula, your sister lives in Glendale.
She
sent
stepped
a video
outside of her house and sent me a video, kind of just a full spin, right, full circle, and like she hasn't been evacuated yet, as far as I know, but you see flames from your doorstep.
I tweeted a video of a guy inside his house.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
I saw
engulfed.
that.
It's like, what do you do?
When you see the flames, you're like, okay, this is really
Once
happening.
you see the flames, it's almost too late. You should be gone before you can see flames approaching your house.
Like for my sister, she like went and got gas, cars packed, I believe. Like grab the cats and get out of there because like you said, if you can smell the smoke and see the flames, in a lot of cases, with how fast these flames move, it could be too late.
Please, if anybody hears of an organization that is gathering money or water or whatever, the Watch Duty app is good. I put something on my Instagram as well that there's shelters right now in L.A. as well. If you know somebody up there, I'm going to pull this up right quick. Mutual Aid Resources, the Palisades and Eaton Fires. In the comments here, there's places that are taking people in. There's Compton Cowboys can haul horses. A lot of people asking if they can volunteer. A lot of people recommending Watch Duty as well. The Pasadena Convention Center has the Humane Society on hand and offering pet boarding. There's masks that are needed. There's all kinds of things that are needed right now. So if you go to Mutual Aid LA on Instagram, you'll find some resources there as well.
Don't forget about the animals. I saw our beloved Annie, Fat Bottom Girl Bakes, who was at the extravaganza volunteering to go help out with horses. There's a lot of ranches up in that area as well that have animals that need to be evacuated, and that requires special care and expertise as well. So just so much going on right now, and prayers certainly going out, but be careful down here today. We've lived through it before. We don't want to have to live through it again.
No.
And resources are stretched badly already.
Yep.
I just
All right.
the idea of like having to pack up whatever you can is terrifying.
2 kids.
And knowing like there's a good chance we come back and everything we have is gone.
Yeah. 2 kids, 3 cats. I figured out, you know what I mean? Like what's the move here? It's a lot to think about, and some of those people didn't even really feel like they had a chance. It spread so quickly last night. But yeah, people in our chat, of course, our tier ones are very, very generous. We're ready to donate clothing items and things like that. I'm ready to spend some money, whatever we need, to get people whatever they need up in LA.
Do have some college basketball tonight in San Diego, 7:30 tip-off at Viejas Arena.
What a spread it is.
San Diego State hosting Air Force. Now
they're terrible.
They're bad, but I was listening to when Mark Seidler was on with Gwen and Chris yesterday, and Air Force runs a matchup zone defense. The Aztecs have faced 2 teams that play matchup zones this year. UCSD, who led the Aztecs at Viejas Arena in the second half, and the other one was... it's slipping my mind now, but another team they struggled against offensively. Utah State. Yeah, in the second half, they absolutely could not score against Utah State in that matchup zone defense. So
does Air Force still run the offense where they put you to sleep?
I believe so. The 4 corners type, Princeton style, slow down.
Run the clock all the way
down.
down.
You know, Air
and
Force.
Then shoot.
Yeah.
I think they've relaxed some of the restrictions, but it always used to be if you were over 6'6", it wouldn't let you into the Air Force.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fit into the planes.
That's right.
Which always hurt their basketball team, especially inside and underneath. They were always just a bunch of, every guy was 6'4" across the board, and they were all kind of wing players.
The show used to show up to those games in pajamas and bring like sleeping bags and pillows because they
put you to sleep.
Put you to sleep. Yeah.
It's a good bit. I like a good bit.
So, I don't think... I mean,
the line's come down. Line was 21.5. It's 19.5.
Yeah,
now.
they've realized that the Aztecs might not have their best offensive performance.
Hit the under on that.
It's an under sort of day for San Diego State, but if they figure it out, they should blow this team out.
Under 131 is the total.
That's what, 66 to 65?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a high number for college
130
basketball.
I usually would almost always taken over, like 130 or in the 120s. They're like, they should be able to get there.
Do the Aztecs score more than 75.5 points? I feel like yes.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're betting the under, then it's probably like 72-52 sort of thing. I mean, that would be my
again. I haven't watched much Air Force. They're
3-11. Yeah.
So why would I? But I think if they still have that style of offense where they just put you to sleep, run the clock, it's tough to score against that.
They have not been good at defending the 3-point shot, and it's the one thing that San Diego State has done pretty well this year compared to other Aztecs teams shooting from outside. So that's one area where they could light up the scoreboard is from 3-point range. But hey, if you're not making those shots, it could be an ugly, low-scoring game tonight at Viejas Arena.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's hard. I'm listening to you talk about this, and I'm looking at my Twitter feed of just apocalyptic fires going on in LA. It's weird to like have to focus on sports on a day like this, but obviously we have to. We've got 50 minutes left in the show, but we'll be monitoring this situation going on all day. And if you hear anything of a way that we can help, again, please let us know.
USD plays at Gonzaga tonight, number 18 in the country. I would imagine that's a huge spread. And then tomorrow, the other team that's been having a great season here, UCSD, is home to Cal Poly. Now, I heard this. I hadn't heard. This is a dangerous game. Cal Poly has lost 48 straight Big West games.
Oh, my goodness.
That means they're due.
But they took UC Irvine, the preseason favorite, to overtime. So they're not a bad team. And UC Irvine's coming to UCSD on Saturday. So you don't want to overlook the struggling team in favor of the big matchup on Saturday. You got to be careful with that one.
So Cal Poly has not won a conference game in more than 2 full
years.
seasons.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 years.
How is that possible?
They're not good, Sam. They're not good, but they're 6-10 this year, and they just started conference play. They will win a conference game this year. I'll go and make that prediction. Just don't make it be tomorrow with UCSD riding an 11-game winning streak. They received their first ever vote in the coaches poll, top 25, and they're currently ranked number 7 in the mid-major top 25, and they're currently included in everybody's bracketology right now as the 12 seed, I think, for Joe Lunardi in the NCAA tournament from the Big West.
Is tonight the Dutcher bobblehead? Is that tonight?
No, that's next week.
That's next week.
That's next week.
I was going to say, we definitely want one for the studio.
Where is Cal Poly?
Well, there's two. There's Cal Poly San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly Pomona.
And this is which
the
one?
San Luis Obispo
This is
one.
San Luis Obispo.
They're the Division
now,
1 school.
their baseball program, pretty good. They're major leaguers. That have
Big
come from
West
there.
is a great baseball conference. Fullerton, Long Beach State. That is a really good baseball conference. Not so great in some of the other sports, but really good in baseball. The other Cal Poly is Cal Poly Pomona, which is a Division II school up in the Los Angeles, East County of Los Angeles area. Not where I went to Pomona College. They get confused, different things, but there are 2 Cal Polys. This is the slow San Luis Obispo one.
Why don't you take a breather?
I will do so.
A little gargle?
I thought you went to San Diego State.
No.
That's Paul. He went to San Diego State. I went to Pomona College, Division III school, one of the Claremont colleges.
A college golfer. Division III.
Really?
College golfer, yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. There's one college athlete on this program, and it's Ben Higgins.
That's right.
Yeah. Look at that.
Legitimate Division III. Not only college athlete, second team all SCIAC my senior year.
Second team
all conference.
How did you feel about winning second team?
Oh, I was so overjoyed.
Were you?
Can't even believe it. When they announced it, it was our last tournament. And when they announced the all-conference teams, and they go, it's second team, and they're going through names, and I'm not even really paying attention, and they go,
yes!
Ben Higgins, Pomona Pitzer.
You lose your mind.
Huzzah! I'm an all-conference college athlete? Are you kidding me? Me.
Look at my guy.
I'm an all-conference college NCAA athlete. Yours truly.
You must have gotten so much.
You got a little medal.
Oh.
Carnal relation.
I was going in a different direction.
Do you often wonder what he was like in college?
Almost more than I wonder.
Exactly like I am
I
now.
think he was exactly the same.
Did you go to parties?
Not really. Sometimes the parties were just right there outside my door, so you just kind of you ended up there, but I didn't actively seek them.
Did you go to bars? Did you bar hop?
No bars.
No bars.
No bars. Well, I wasn't 21 until midway through my senior year.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't stop
really
anybody else in college, so just so you know.
I like to follow the laws.
You never had a fake ID? I think we've asked you.
Never had a fake ID.
Never once?
Never once.
Do you feel like you were missing out?
No.
On a college experience?
Not really.
All right.
I chose my college appropriately. It wasn't a party school at all. It was an academic school. It was pretty tame. It was not known for any of the wild behavior.
Admittedly, I was not the craziest either, but I did go to.
I was
parties.
the craziest that ever lived.
I mean, but I had fun.
Where did you go?
Northwestern.
That's right, Northwestern. Oh,
the Wildcat,
Chicago. I mean, you can't beat it.
Great.
Cannot beat it.
I wasn't in the cool part of LA either. Way out in the suburbs.
Yeah,
it was like 45 minutes to drive into LA.
Man, Benny. I feel like you missed out. I feel like you missed out on a lot. And that's why on this show the last 7 years. But we do.
Yeah, I know.
It's not for you to decide. It's for us to decide. You know that he never rode a bike when he was a kid.
Really?
Never rode a bike. I feel like he missed out on a lot of...
That seems very odd in California.
It's very, very odd. Very odd. He never rode a bike when he was a kid. He missed out on all kinds of...
It's by choice, though. And it wasn't deprived by my parents.
No, the bike was. But I feel like
I had a bike. I never rode it.
I feel like in college, I feel like you said it was by choice, but I don't think it was. I feel like it wasn't I think you wanted to go rage and stuff. I don't believe you.
I didn't.
I don't believe you.
I really, the Ragers, I didn't like that stale beer smell of the parties and everything.
Well, it kind of goes back to one of I think the core premises, if that's the word, of this show, which is you pulling the demon out of Ben
exactly
Higgins.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. I said it that day, and I
Yes.
didn't realize just how true
A
it would
core
be.
tenet of
A core
the Ben
tenet of the
Woods
show.
program. Yes.
Now, him riding a bicycle around a parking lot isn't exactly pulling the demon out of him, but I want Ben to experience things that he'd never experienced.
One of the
before.
other core tenets is how I lost 40 pounds in 60 days with SDFatLoss.com. You can do it as well. Make the call in the new year. A New You. Take advantage of their New Year's special, $200 off now through January 31st. Simply set up a free consultation and find out how their program works. It's based on real foods, things you eat every day, stuff you get at the supermarket, steak, chicken, vegetables, berries. You got some fruit in there. I lost the pounds fast, up to a pound of fat per day, up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days with sdfatloss.com. What it does is it resets your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Your metabolic age going down. I feel years younger.
You sound it.
I do.
You sound
don't
it.
I?
Yeah.
I mean, years younger after
Oh, yeah.
10,000 cartons of cigarettes. But yeah, I feel years younger. Please don't wait any longer. Take advantage of the $200 off special. Go to sdfatloss.com here in the new year. Schedule your free consultation at sdfatloss.com. We'll be right back after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hamul Casino. Fun above all else.
Everyone's trying to decide who I sound like this morning.
It's
I've got a
RFK
lot of
Jr.
Batman,
Sound
RFK
just
Jr.
like RFK
Does anyone remember the old radio host, Scott Farrell? Farrell on the bench, 1-800-BENCH.
He's a little more like this.
He's a little more like this, but that's the one I can kind of do. If I wanted to talk like
Eastern,
Scott
7
Farrell,
Pacific.
I could probably talk like Scott Farrell, and you'd probably actually be able to understand me a little bit more because I can go like this, and I can talk with some volume if I go this low. But it does sound kind of silly if I go this low and talk like this for the rest of the show. But otherwise, it's just me sounding scratchy the rest of the way.
I don't know Mystical, Paulie. That's a rapper. Or is it a rap group or a rapper?
He's an individual.
He's an individual rapper. Somebody said Ben Reed's rap with any Mystical song right now would really capitalize on the situation.
I'm happy to
play it.
I'm happy to do it if you want.
Play a little.
What's up, bitches?
What was that, Robot Ben?
What's up, bitches?
You can't say that. Wow. I don't know Mystical, I don't think. Yeah, there's been a different voice. M.M. McKee says it's evolved over the course of the show.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely evolved. Actually, it might be at its best version right now.
The higher you go, the worse it sounds.
Yeah,
So you
lower
just keep
I
it
go.
low. No, lower.
Lower I go.
Nope, lower. Lower register.
Lower I go, the better it sounds.
Do you have any Mystical I can hear? Does he sound like that? Paulie's pulling it up right now. Yeah, photo guy says it was way worse at the beginning. Huh.
It's a testament you always want to fight through it because in the end you emerge.
You just told me earlier.
Victorious.
You just told me earlier that I should have told my new trainer that I don't want to fight through it and that I should just give up and just don't and do what I want to do and
That's
not what
true.
he wants to do.
Am I going to end up with a strained vocal cord like you end up with a strained hamstring?
What if you're out for like weeks, like
Because
with
of this?
tonsillectomy or something? Do you have your tonsils?
I do still have my tonsils.
So somebody.
I get meaner, better, strong and
He's a little Ja Rule too.
A little bit, yeah.
My heart, my soul, whatever he says.
Everybody that be living it up.
So good.
Sorry that you done that. I get meaner, better, strong and
I just wonder, like people that have like Scotty Farrell. It's amazing he went into radio.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think his voice hurts, but like his voice was so.
I mean, it's good to be distinctive.
I guess it is.
Distinctive
Yeah,
is good. It's
that's
memorable.
true. That's true.
No one's going to forget this show. That's for sure.
That's for sure. If anyone's still listening,
That's a good point.
To be honest.
Sammy Levitt is here. He's got another show later tonight.
I do. That's right. I
Inside
forgot
San
to
Diego
mention that
Baseball
earlier.
with Sam Levitt tonight at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
shake your ass. Show me what you're working with.
Can't.
Would you like to give us a sneak preview as to what might be going on in the world of Padres baseball that's caught Sam Levitt's fancy this week?
Well, in the world of the baseball, I don't know that there's a ton to discuss. We'll talk about Roki Sasaki. I wrote down a couple of segments, like we'll probably go broad tonight.
Broad.
Major League Baseball. Recap all the moves that happened across the game since the last show I did, which I think was like December something 10th. It's been like 3 weeks, easily.
Crazy that you thought when you signed off that night that there would definitely be some actual moves to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping when I agreed with Adam to do the show that there would be some moves to talk
Just
about.
at any time.
Now, I will say, I haven't talked to Adam about this, but I'm sure I'm sure he would like me to continue the show into spring training, which I think will be very nice because I'll have a ton of interviews and content and things to talk
So
about.
throughout, like while you're at spring training,
I haven't talked to Adam about it, but I'm gonna.
That's a lot, though.
Well, it's only once a week. I can do it from the Airbnb.
Those days, I'm out here trying to get him out of the gig, and he's selling himself into the gig. I'm
I
trying
have-
to get you
I've
less
not,
work.
I've not cleared that with Adam.
All right,
but I would assume that he would very much enjoy that. But we'll do some broad stuff like tonight, like Major League Baseball. I was thinking about just a power ranking. Go 1 through 30
Look at
right
you.
now,
Ooh,
which is
power
hard.
Ben is
very excited.
Which is hard to do.
Number
grading
one.
each move that's been made since we were off.
For the off
Well,
season so far.
I mean, not the Padres.
Oh, I was
but-
going to say that's
no.
an easy one.
Well, across the game. I mean, if I'm gonna, there's not a whole lot to discuss Padre wise.
I mean, you guys agree? Padres off season so far.
It's almost like, do you
Incomplete.
you get an
Incomplete.
F for not even showing up to the test? or do you get the incomplete? And it's
But
like,
the
let's
test
wait and see what you
But it's a
actually do
grade
when
to
you
this
retake
point.
it.
The grade
test
to this
isn't over yet.
The grade to this point is an F.
At the midterm, yes, they're getting an F. But most of the final counts for like 98% of the grade, and they haven't taken the final yet.
I think, especially with AJ and what we know about him and what he's shown in the past, I fail to believe that there's not going to be stuff that happens before opening day.
I
Look,
agree.
We're a month away to spring training.
Dude,
the
yes.
pitchers and catchers reporting. There is a chance that there may not be much more to talk about until then, unless Roki comes or something like that. Obviously, look, that's going to be a story either way for us if he comes
either
or
way.
if he doesn't come.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's very incomplete, is what I'd put it.
I'll give it an F.
Oh, let's see. Boats says they had an F last year at this time. What have they done other than trade Juan Soto?
What do you mean? Other than trade Juan Soto, they got 5 players back that helped fill areas of need.
But
I don't know.
No one felt that they had gotten completely fair value for a transcendent player like Juan Soto.
I think we said at the time that it's always going to be
it was
tough
a
to
pretty-
trade Juan
yeah,
Soto,
right.
but what they got back was about as good as you could have done.
Yes, but at the same time, and had they added anything else at this point? I hadn't signed Jurickson yet.
No.
Hadn't traded for Dylan Cease
Nope.
yet.
Then Arise,
none
nope.
of those moves had
later.
happened by December.
Oh, you know what? Tonight on
January.
Tonight on my show, I definitely want to also revisit the Profar versus Arise
Okay.
conversation.
What
that you
about a
had.
Mike Brousseau deep dive?
We could do a little Mike Brousseau deep dive. How about a Tirso Ornelas? I already did that, though.
You did that?
Like a month ago.
The Juan Soto trade, though, was a massive cost-cutting trade.
Massive.
That's what you don't. That's what you're kind of not wanting to see.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that this
They've not
year.
done that.
Last year, they had a massive cost-cutting trade already.
Boy, it was something, though.
and you
wasn't
feel like this offseason has been worse.
it was something.
All right, we got the Reindl Report in our final segment coming up next. Paul, you want me to take over for you, or are you good?
Don't mind,
All right.
actually.
No,
yeah.
you want me to do the Reindl Report as well. There's a story that I had not even thought about that could come into play in the NFL playoffs.
Pretty wild.
And
I know what you're
I was
talking
like,
about here.
Oh,
This
you're
is
right.
nuts.
That would be pretty amazing. No, I'm not cheering for it, but it could be. We'll tell you about it coming up next. First, though, you'd have to. I know you don't want to think about what happens when you're gone. No one does. I didn't want to do it. That's why I hadn't filled out a will or a trust for 49 years. Same with Woods.
I'm surprised that it took you this long. You're a very buttoned up, take care of business type of guy.
I don't like thinking about negative
That's
things. And I didn't realize actually how important it was.
Yes.
I felt it was pretty, it's obvious what my wishes are, and
Right.
there's no one really out there to fight. But if you don't state what your wishes are in a will and a trust, your family could end up locked up in court for months or years with incredible fees and costs that go along with probate and dying intestate. You don't want to do that.
You do not. Creating a will ensures that your wishes are followed, not the state's. Protect your legacy by taking control. And maybe you're like me and you didn't think you had much of a legacy, right? You're like, well, what are my kids actually going to get at the end of the day, or my wife? No, it's very, very important. Without a plan, people may argue over who gets the house, heirlooms, sentimental items, whatever. Those disputes can turn into gnarly legal battles, as we have seen. So what Ben and I did over the break was we went to Trust and Will. So want to get you guys, if you have a family, to go out there today and get your will done at trustandwill.com
Did you know
today.
you're getting Delilah in my will?
I am?
You are.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Good,
It's
good.
going right back to you.
And the Civil War pickle, hopefully. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the code San Diego, one word. You'll get 10% off, free shipping of your estate plan. Once again, go to trustandwill.com. Use the code San Diego, one word, at checkout.
If you had the over 2.5, 3 hours for Ben Higgins, you have cashed your ticket
cash
this
it.
morning.
Cash
I'm
it.
still here.
You can go now if you want.
I'm still here. No, I'm not going to miss the run. I'm not going to miss the Reindl
He's going to
Report.
finish strong.
I can just sit back and enjoy our final segment. What
100%.
What Paulie brings to the table. We got Sammy Levitt here. He's going to be back tonight again at 7 for Inside San Diego Baseball. Annie and Elston program's coming up at 10, but get to our Reindl Report right after our last check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Expect some slowing into Hillcrest south on 163 past Washington Street. Several vehicles involved in a crash. Got the fast lane blocked. Emergency crews on scene. Also an accident in Center Divide on westbound 8 before Waring Road. And a crash clearing from the Carmel Valley Road off-ramp, northbound 5. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report.
Really good job of replacing the teams that it lost that jumped over to the new Pac-12. San Diego State, Fresno State, Colorado State, Boise State. They've quickly acted. Remember, the Pac-12 still needs one more school to become football eligible for the NCAA to be an official conference. And the Mountain West has basically scooped up any potential candidates out there. So they're in a bit of a bind as to what's going forward. As for the fractured nation of college football, I hate it when a team plays in one conference in one sport and another in another sport. It's very confusing. I know it's unavoidable at times, but it definitely does not make it easier to follow the sports and your favorite teams.
Sure does.
Not knowing which conferences they're in at any time.
Notre Dame's an independent in football. They play in the ACC.
and every other sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least
It's not that hard.
That one's simple.
Yeah,
But-
that one's simple.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've sort of flipped on my college sports stuff in the sense of I think it really bothered me for a few years how different this all felt and how unnatural this all felt with schools in California being in the Big Ten, so on and so on. As I watch the playoffs and watch the games, it's like, does it actually matter? Like, just accept what it is. This is what it is.
And I'm so grateful for
the purity may be gone.
Yeah, of course.
It
And
just
the
is
purity,
what it is.
accept it. The purity from sports left
Yeah.
long ago. Long
Accept
ago in every sport. So, yeah, you have to kind of wear that a little bit as a college football fan. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to change my perspective of the Mountain West by adding Northern Illinois. I mean, it's not, it's not a great conference, and it's going to continue to not be
It's
a
not a
great
needle
conference.
mover,
No,
obviously.
No.
But they're doing what they have to do.
Doing what they got to do.
You know where Northern Illinois is?
In Illinois.
Illinois.
DeKalb.
Is it
Where?
the northern part?
DeKalb.
Oh, it's spelled DeKalb.
KLB,
Yes,
yeah.
DEKALB.
Spelled DeKalb.
DeKalb.
But DeKalb. I don't agree.
Corn
Just
on
like the bison.
DeKalb.
God, maybe you should have let him go home earlier. God.
Dang it, Ben. All right.
Corn on DeKalb.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
20 more minutes, man.
About 20 more minutes in a whole year.
Maybe we suspend him for tomorrow at least after that joke.
Corn on DeKalb. Go ahead.
Yeah, what a transition. All right, I was scrolling Instagram yesterday and I saw this. ESPN posted it out. And it's, while maybe a bit of a far-fetched scenario, it is entirely possible that SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles could host both the AFC and the NFC championship games should the Rams and Chargers advance. A lot needs to happen, but it is possible. So the Rams, obviously, they need to beat the Vikings. They also need the Lions, the Eagles, and the Bucks to lose.
Okay. Lions.
So Rams win.
Rams win.
Lions, Eagles, Bucks lose.
They all have to lose.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen. It could, but I don't think it's going to.
It's unlikely, but what's the logistical solution? Because they don't have the time to clear the entire stadium. That the games take place within like 30 minutes of each other.
Double header.
Yeah.
The Chargers, obviously, they have to beat the Texans, and then they need the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens all to lose.
That's not happening.
Extremely
but I want to know what they're going to do.
What are the odds that I can place a $10 bet on that happening
so
to make $1 million?
The reason this is possible, you got to remember, the NFL reseeds after the first round,
Yes.
so that's what would make this all possible for SoFi, those teams, to be the home teams.
Can you imagine?
Should they make it to the conference championship games? Typically, the NFL, they do the conference championships are on the same day. Championships Sunday, it's like noon and 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
3
noon and
o'clock, whatever.
3:30, yeah.
Yep, noon and 3:30. So, in the past, I guess Roger Goodell has been asked about this because, like the Jets and the Giants, when they would share the sharing the same stadium, like different conferences, what would happen in this scenario? Don't have to really worry about it with those two teams.
Correct.
But,
Maybe their media should be harder on them in New York.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's Rams Stadium, so I assume they get first priority, right?
So Goodell said that one game would be played Sunday and the other game would be on Monday.
Oh.
If this were to happen. So Sunday night, Monday night football.
Monday Night Football Conference Championship. I don't hate that idea.
I don't hate it
I mean,
either.
you already have 2 weeks until the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Well, I
not.
don't
You're not
think
going to be at a
we should do that
disadvantage.
anyway. I like that plan. Let's to make that the
Instead of
regular.
one long championship Sunday.
Yeah. Let's do one game on Sunday, one game on Monday night.
Make the Chargers play at midnight. Do a quick turnaround.
Or at least a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
night.
Back to Carson for a game.
Yeah, Carson. Those Carson days. Remember them well. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, there's too many
Snapdragon Stadium.
There's too many really, really good teams in there that need to lose for that to happen. But it would be funny. I do like sports chaos.
Oh yeah, that would be some serious chaos. All right, and then finally, it is Girl Scout cookie season.
No, it's not. Is it?
Just about.
Ah!
Yeah. I think it's actually going underway right now.
Is it?
But it goes all the way through April.
This is like my one vice. Just my one.
Which do you like?
All of them.
How did you gain all the weight?
Sammy, I
I
love
like
Samoa.
Thin Mints.
I like Thin Mints, Samoas.
Oh, I like the
Tag-alongs.
Samoas. Yeah.
I like. There's really not too many I don't like.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you: do you like the s'mores cookies or the toast yays?
I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever had that.
I don't like s'mores.
They're relatively new, but the Girl Scouts have eliminated those two cookies.
Not gonna miss them.
But what they're doing, they've never done this. They've had other flavors, other types of cookies come in and leave. They are warning everybody in advance now that after this year's season, they're going to get rid of those s'mores and the toast yays, which I don't think I've had either of those. But
toast yays.
Never heard of that.
It's a horrible
Toast
name.
yays.
Because they don't sell.
They came around in 2021.
Is it toast yas?
Toast. It says toast dash
Yay.
yays.
Yeah, Y-A-Y.
Y-A-Y-S. Toast yays.
French toast-inspired cookie dipped in delicious icing and full of flavor in every bite.
It actually sounds good. I've never tried that. I don't like s'mores really.
I'm over.
You don't like
s'mores.
s'mores?
No, I'm over.
What?
No.
You don't like making a s'more?
No.
Overrated.
Messy.
Never
Start
works.
a wildfire, Sammy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
dangerous.
Yes, please, don't
make
do
them
it right
in-
now.
Yeah, make them over your gas
No
stove.
s'mores.
So yeah, it's the first time the Girl Scouts have announced that a flavor is going to be cut off, discontinued ahead of time to, I guess, give people that do like those flavors a chance to maybe stock up a little extra. All the others are
You're
back.
hoarding toast yays in your house.
All the other ones are back though. Thin Mint, Samoas, the trefoils, the peanut butter patties.
Those are so good.
Tagalongs.
Dosey dos.
I think it's trefoils, not trefoils. Yeah.
Trefoils.
Settle down over there.
That's all right.
Easy RFK.
Yeah.
I need another lasagna.
Lasagna.
It says they also have Adventurefuls, caramel chocolate chip, lemonades, lemon ups, and
I love lemon
toffee-tastic.
How high do you get on the supply? of Girl
I
Scout cookies.
I don't often. I do love Thin Mints, but I'm going to maybe expand everybody's world here.
Oh, go ahead.
Girl Scout season doesn't matter anymore because at Costco they have little Thin Mint balls. Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, I've had them.
Thin Mint
my
balls.
God, they're
And in this
unbelievable.
big old package, and we keep them in the freezer. And it's now Girl Scout season all year long at our house.
So I went into
Thin Mint balls.
I went to my pantry recently and I opened it up. And when you have two little kids, like Taylor, for example, he only eats snacks. Like you try to make him a meal, he won't eat it. He eats fruit, tons of fruit, and like crackers. That's what he eats right now. It's a phase he's in. And so as a parent, instead of you need to sit there and finish your stew or whatever, he's not going to, right? Like I made chili recently. He's like, took one look at it. He
Are
goes,
you running an orphanage here? Eat your gruel.
So I opened the pantry and I saw hidden tucked back in the corner these Thin Mint balls, and I went, oh God. So I was like, all right. Had one. I was like,
Does
oh
Hannah
my!
hide
She
food
hides
from you?
hides
Yeah.
them from me. I reached my hand. I was like, oh, like let them filter through my fingers into my mouth. They were so good.
Yeah.
I'm ready to spend like $300 on Girl Scout cookies. I give a lot away, but I really
Or about
want
$8 on one of the giant Costco bags of Thin Mint balls.
so good, man. Yeah,
Support the Girl Scouts,
But
man.
can you
support the Girl Scouts.
Where does that money actually go?
Hey,
Do we know?
corporate Costco's
But can
okay.
you buy?
know.
Can you buy Girl Scout cookies at the store?
No.
now?
But right in front of the store, I guarantee you.
Right, but
you
they
can.
don't. There are no stores that actually sell the real,
I don't think so.
boxed Girl Scout
I don't
cookies.
think so.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, this is terrible. Matt says, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I need to argue with my 5-year-old to eat his pizza before he can have snacks. There's this snack culture that we've built in to parenthood right now. And it's really all, like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, his lunch now, I have to make him a charcuterie board. Cheese, crackers, and fruit. I have to make it every morning. Like cutting up cheese, putting crackers in there. I'm like, you little turd, man. You little turd. Bo says to me at the beginning of the week, Monday I want turkey sandwich. Tuesday turkey's fine. Wednesday peanut butter and jelly. They give me their menu, so
nice.
I go in and I'm whipping it up. Hannah did it this morning.
You
for
should
me,
create
but-
like an online ordering system.
for them. Yes. Have I told you guys what we got them for Christmas? By the way,
I don't think so.
think I did. One of their gifts that they wanted CBs, and so we got.
Like CB radios?
CB
like
walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
not CBs. Yeah, in their rig.
I had no idea what you were just talking about.
Walkie-talkie.
CBs.
All their friends down the street also got walkie-talkies.
Oh, really?
So now, here's what you hear. Hey, it's Bo. Can you come play? Over. And then you hear muffled. Over. And then Bo's like, hey, can you come play? Over. Hey, can you come play? Over. Just repeat. And they all make this little like beep sounds. Like, beep.
Oh, it's amazing.
Bo, can you come
That's
play?
awesome.
Over. And then you can't hear a word they say. They all don't know when to press the button. They talk over each other. It is a
Because when you're
nightmare.
pressing the button, you can't hear anybody
Correct.
else. It cuts them off.
So
It
they're-
cuts you off.
They're still trying to figure it out. Hey, can you come down and play? Over. Beep.
But you coordinated with other families to get them
All
ones that
walkie-talkies.
communicate. Wow.
All walkie-talkies.
That's
so
on the
awesome.
same
they can
frequency.
communicate.
They're on the same
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah, we'll all go to the same channel.
Yeah.
You know, and text the parents. All right, put it on channel 202 or whatever. Hey, can you come down and play? Over. Hey, can you come down and play? Over. Beep, beep. It's mad.
Do they ever pick up like trucker, large
So,
Marge?
Strangely enough, the other day, I'm sitting inside. I'm working at my desk. Bo and his buddy come in weeping. And I'm like, what happened? And Bo said, somebody just came on this channel and said, you owe me a lot of money. Open up. And I'm like, I think it's a prank. Probably one of the other dads. I wouldn't get too worried about it. But I think one of the dads was like,
What dad would do that?
hey,
That's-
I would.
Oh,
I would
that's
do it in
true.
a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
you would.
Be like, hey, give me all your money. Open up. Right? It's, I forgot to tell this story.
Traumatize your
They're
child.
traumatized. Still to this day, they don't know. They don't know who it was, what happened. So now, is there some creep in the neighborhood that's like, it kind of domed me out for a minute, but holy cow, man. It just, to hear those I'm about to throw them out the window because beep. And they just repeat themselves over and over and over and over. I mean, 7 and 4. They don't have the real extensive vocabulary and don't really know what to say with their friends, but
repeating myself over and over.
That's it. The whole time. But yeah, somebody played a little prank on him, messed him up for a while. It's a good lesson, though. It's a good lesson.
Yeah, in what?
And being careful with what your kids are doing and communicating and things like that. There's a lot of creeps out there, right?
You have a few delinquents in your neighborhood.
I'm
We've heard
sure we
about,
do.
yeah.
I'm sure we do.
I realize when I hear about other people's lives, like yours, Woods, the kids, dealing with all these things, important things you got to deal with day to day. I've got it so easy.
You do, and I didn't want to say
it. You know what I did last night? I got in my car with no destination of where I was going to eat, and I ended up at a revolving sushi bar.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to one of those.
I've never been to one either.
And I sat at the sushi bar by myself, pulling the plates.
Yeah. It's
I spent like $55.
They're like
at
color
sushi
coded,
bar.
like different plates or different prices and stuff. And once you pull it, it's yours.
Well, the one they keep track of when you put the plate in the garbage. Like it says, okay, you've used 3 plates, and then you can order like a tempura, which is different. You don't put that plate in. But it just reminded me, I have it so I mean, at any time, I just have this.
Like today, for
this
example,
freedom.
You'll leave here in 8 minutes, and you can go home and do whatever you want.
Yes.
You remember those days?
Vaguely. But
Now, one could argue, should I be at a point of life where maybe I should have more responsibilities? I don't know.
I mean, how do you feel? The answer is
no. I feel like I'm right where I should be.
Because I'll tell you, with your gig, it would suck having kids right now. It'd be hard.
I don't know how I'd go to spring training
Correct.
for 7 weeks.
You couldn't. Yeah. I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, look, I'm at the point where I don't have to worry about it
You
yet.
could not go. It would be excruciating.
It was tough. We had babies when I did Padres pre and post.
It's
and it was
almost
tough. I mean,
impossible.
if it wasn't for Shelly staying at home and taking care of them, no chance.
Yeah, it would be impossible. I mean, that's why this gig is perfect because I have a few hours myself, and then I got and then it's just like boot camp every night. But no, don't stress it, Sammy. There's still plenty of time. I was an old dad. I am an old dad. I didn't become a dad till I was 42, so you still got plenty of time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's lay odds. Will I be here tomorrow or not?
I'm
not going to talk again today. That's the plan.
I think you will, because I don't think
I'm going to get better.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get worse. This is pretty bad.
I think this is the low point.
Yeah,
if you
got through this today,
if you guys haven't learned anything, there's always a deeper darkness.
Yeah. the problem now, you don't feel sick. Now, normally when I sound like this,
yeah, you feel like death.
Yeah, or at least in my throat, I feel
His throat
like that.
doesn't even
hurt.
hurt.
Yeah,
which is odd.
Do my normal stuff today.
I don't know.
Exercise. Rest.
For me,
Please, for the love of
I
God.
never get over this stuff quick.
What time did you go to bed last night?
10:45.
Yeah,
What the
you
hell
should have been
is wrong with
asleep at
you?
8.
You got to get a good.
You got
night's
to
sleep.
rest.
at 8.
It doesn't matter. Take a pill.
Forced myself. Sammy, thank you for coming in.
Thank you,
You're
Sammy.
welcome. My pleasure.
Great
That'll
job,
do it for
Eddie.
us. Eddie and Elston program is coming up next for Paul Reindl, our executive producer, and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins, wishing you a great rest of your Wednesday, and execute Order 66. Good night.
Oh.